Hi, all. I'm Ron with Pacific Permaculture. Maybe you don't recognize me without the beard. I'm going to have a fundraiser, and I need to gather more subscribers. I want to get enough subscribers that I can afford to grow the beard back. So that's the thing. Save the beards. That's my new mantra. Save the beards. If I have enough subscribers, I can get my beard back. I'm thinking 10,000 will be enough to get the beard back. Vote for the beard. That's my motto. Cecilia, are you on here? Hi, if you are. I don't know if you left. You probably thought it was a 7 p.m. start here. As they used to say in Family Feud, try again. Survey says, let's see if anybody shows up tonight. We do have a giveaway. It's harvest season giveaway, folks. Anybody coming up for that? Yeah, my nose is itching and I'm on here. I'm not lying. It's sometimes my mustache makes my nose itch. Those without a mustache, I don't know what happens. Hi, Out of Garden Glen. You're the first eligible for my giveaway. Out of Garden. I didn't clean out my bucket nicely, so I think what I'll do is I'll just use a paper bag. I thought Cecilia was here, but I don't know. Oh, she is here. So the first and the third person, Cecilia, you're eligible for my giveaway. I was going to make it those who come up on the panel, but I would save a lot of postage because nobody ever wants to come up on the panel. I wouldn't have to give anything away. Maybe that could be my new trick. Have to come up on the panel. Pretty soon I just keep giving away the same stuff for years because I won't have to give it away very often. Let me get it back. Here's where I do most of my shopping. If you're in the Bay Area, El Cerrito Natural Grocery Company. They're the founders of the Non-GMO Project. Anyway, I'll put these two in here. I'm not sure how many I'm giving away, but we'll put these two names in. I was just kidding about having a double entry. Got two in there. Let's see who else shows up. Just had to step away for a minute. It looked like you had to step away for 28 minutes, but okay. So I don't know if you guys caught it, but I had to shave, and I'm going to do a Save the Beard campaign. When I get 10,000 subscribers, I think I can afford to let the beard come back. So I need your support, folks. Save the beards. I don't want to have a bald chin forever. Pity the bald chin. Aha. That's the thing. I think when I get 1 million subscribers, I may give away a laptop. So come show up then, Cecilia, and you too may be eligible. Joe and Jenny Journey. I don't know if you realize, but I have a giveaway tonight. So you are eligible for the giveaway. I don't know if you like it or not. It's reading material regarding permaculture. I'll send it to you anyway if you win. And, maybe it'll interest you. Maybe it'll just be something to start the fire with. Whatever. Like the new look. Yeah, well, I am starting the campaign, Save the Beards. Beards are getting rare again, so I need 10,000 subscribers to be able to afford to grow the beard back. You guys can all help. It's just, bald, sad. Don't keep me sad. I'm going for the John Muir look. I want to grow my beard down to my waist, but it's going to take more subscribers. Actually, it's not a book. It's a magazine this time. Reading material is always good. You know, you can also, if you had to, in a pinch, you could cut it into probably 4 squares per page. And, you know, if a nature arose and bad need, and you could square this out, and it's more or less soft. It's almost like newsprint. So just a little hint, it could be reused. If you got human manure, many uses for it. Yeah, see, I'm going to be an outsider in the homesteader and permaculture community. Please bring me back into the fold. I need subscribers for that to happen. Support me in any way you can. Thumb up or down, subscribe, share, comment in the live, comment when I repost, and watch it if you can. If I can get people to watch my complete videos too, that's the thing with my analytics. I could tell that people aren't playing the whole thing. Watch is something else, but playing, not playing the whole thing. You don't have to watch it. Turn on my live replay sometime while you're doing laundry or whatever if you like. I need the watch time, so-called watch time, and I need, you know, all this stuff. So anyway, anybody can support, it's greatly appreciated. And some of the channels, I won't say all, but some of the channels, I'm trying to go for under like 5,000 or so. I'm trying to do all the videos. So I've got a few that I'm doing that with right now. Play once every one of their videos. And look, if I could get half of my subscribers to do that, my views will go up tremendously, because I've got 200 and some videos. Say times 100, that's 20,000. Yeah, I'll be up to like 20,000 views if I can get that. So where is Echo? I don't know. Maybe in a canyon? Go somewhere else. Hello, 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 hello. So anyway, little by little, I'm trying to do that. I did that with a guy that has a lot of lives. So that was a journey. That was Jay's journey. I did that, and I started doing that. So there's a few other people I'm doing that with. Some people don't care about if they get monetized or not. I was going to do that with Howie's, and I found out that he Food Forest Permaculture, and he said he didn't really care about the monetization. So I just, if they don't care, I just throw in the towel. And no need to bother. But I thought today what I should do is try to concentrate on the one that are under 5,000 and at least under 10,000 subscribers, and give people some boost by watching all their, playing all their videos. And plus there's a lot to learn. I'm learning stuff by watching these. So I'll probably double back and start watching Susie from Out West Homestead. I'm watching Philippine Desert Gardener, Armadoro Journey. There's probably a couple more that I've been concentrating on. Trying to get Arkansas Woodcutter some views. So anything you guys can do, I greatly appreciate it. I'm not saying everybody has to contribute. I'm not doing the membership thing, but also I'm not doing the PayPal or Patreon. But if somebody would like to contribute, like $1, $2, or you want to send me a packet of seeds or a gardening book or garden tool, whatever, any way you'd like to contribute something physical, be it money or whatever, fine. I been posting my PO box address at the end of my videos, so that's something, and I'll post it on here. This is me. And anyway, I'm just throwing it out there because I know some people would like to, and they don't know where to send something. Maybe I've already got 2 people sent me seeds, and that was greatly appreciated. And Thanks, Joe and Jenny Journey. And I can't remember. Are you J3 or is it Joe and Jassy J3? I get mixed up. There's so many Joes now that within kind of a group. Are you the Joe that rode the bus down to Georgia from Connecticut or somewhere? Oh no, I understand, Cecilia, totally. Everybody can't afford even if they want to. And but I'm just saying, if you can afford and you want to support in some way the Pacific Permaculture Institute that I'm building, I'm giving you people an opportunity to, right? So that's the thing. Okay. Thanks, Joe. Thanks. And you know what? Thanks everybody for stopping by. Sometimes I get carried away with my spiel, but thanks Cecilia and Glenn and Joe and Jenny, and if there's anybody else here, thanks for coming by. Just even the support of coming by and being on the live show means a lot. I'm not trying to diminish that by saying, hey, if somebody wants to support in another way. Let me see. I'm going to put soil, build soil, Oh, there's 4 on. There's somebody else just joined. Let's see. Who's ever the 4th person, make a comment so I can include you in the eligibility for the drawing. Me? Oh, it went pretty good. I worked a couple nights on night shifts. I'm a little tired today. I got off at 3 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. so I didn't rest the best, but I went and did my soil building for the day and talked to the neighbor a little bit and that kind of thing. Oh, thanks, Glenn. I don't do Facebook myself, but if somebody wants to post it on there, thanks. Like I say, every bit of support helps. And the community garden where I went in Alameda, if you guys saw that video, my brain just went, bleh, just zapped out, right? We're giving away some some crops, trees and shrubs. So I got some there, and I have to repot them, replant them, and get some more planters. And then I donated some money to them too. So trying to keep a lot of this good things going. Yeah, you've been pushing me, Cecilia. Quit pushing me. Anyway, I'm going to do some fix up, before and after videos of the Pacific Permaculture Institute as we upgrade it to where I want it to be. And I had kind of a falling out with a guy that was going to hang the wallpaper. So I have a friend going to help me do the wallpaper for much less. After he claimed it was going to cost $10,000 to redo the wall and put wallpaper. And I don't know if he was really kidding or trying to soften me up to charge a bunch of money so it wouldn't sound as bad or what. But I was thinking the guy was a friend, but a friend doesn't do that to me. So in any case, I guess I was mistaken. Yeah, sure. I'll accept what you want to send, Glenn. If you want to send something, thank you. There was a 4th person on here and they boogied. I guess he didn't want to win nothing, huh? We'll give it a few more minutes and I'll pull the... It'd be interesting if I had like about 8 people, right? It'd be more fascinating. As it's going, probably every person's going to win something automatically by default of 3 people being here. But yeah, if somebody has a gardening book or seeds or garden related, whatever, hey, cool. Or like I say, if somebody wants to donate a couple dollars, that's fine. I'm not going to hound people for it, but I'm just saying that every little bit helps and that type of thing. And I don't want, the thing with like the Patreon and that, the one thing is they scoop up some of the money, Okay. And well, they have a service, so that's part of the deal. But the other thing is, I don't like the idea that you get on there and they automatically take it out every month and you forget and you're still, for me, I want it to be, if somebody wants to support, I want it to be a conscious contribution each time. If you choose to send me $1 or $3 or $10 or whatever, great. But you know how it is. You get started on something automatic and it just keeps feeding through to somebody and you kind of forgot. And I don't want that. I want somebody to have to make a conscious decision that they want to support. And if they choose to do that, great. And then it doesn't get degraded except for like if you're buying a money order or postage, but not all this, somebody grabbing all these fees out of what you're donating. Hi, Arkansas Woodcutter. You are eligible to be in the drawing. I'm going to put you in. Thanks for coming by the live show. How you doing out there on the road? I've been trying to catch up with you. I've been trying to watch your videos, and I have several that I'm trying to watch all the videos of, and I'll get there in time. I was thinking, even if you just break even with your business there, you're going to have you're just going to have volumes of stories, right? From being on the road and hydroponics. Cool, Joe and Jenny J3. There's permaculture's about a lot of that too. Got a lot of that going. Let me put the invite link up and we can try to get people up here if anybody wants to come up on the panel. Of course, I got the keyboard upside down, so that's a dyslexic tendency, I guess. And overall, I view this thing as this is like a online party, okay? Basically. This is just a gathering, just because we can't all be in the same room. And it'd have to be one big room, huh? Because we're all over the place here. We got Eastern Canada, we got Florida, I don't know where where you're at, but come on up, J3. Welcome. Thanks for coming up on the panel. How you doing today?
Not a problem, brother. I'm doing good.
Are you still down in Georgia, or did you come back?
No, I'm in Missouri.
You're from Missouri, right?
Yeah.
And you took the bus clear down to Georgia. And how long did that take you?
Actually, I took the bus down to Mississippi and then back.
How long did that take you?
3 days one way.
You're tough. You're a tough man. That's a long. They had to be a little dramatic, huh?
Oh, it's tiring. That's for sure.
Yeah. It looked like you guys had kind of a good time, though, huh?
Oh yeah, had a real good time. Yeah, Arkansas Woodcutter is just across the state line from you, I think.
Oh, you should stop by. I'm kidding. I don't know where anybody's actually at and all that. Mentally, or physically, where they're at with all this, right? But,
according to his name, he's right across state line from me.
Oh, cool. But yeah, I'm trying to watch your stuff, Arkansas, and Joe and Jenny, J3. Are you going to be putting up more content?
I just put up a video tonight.
Okay. I'm going to put you down and look up your stuff again. I've got so many that I got to concentrate on just a few, kind of, because I've got hundreds and I'm trying to hit them all, but I'm also trying to focus in on like 4 or 5 and watch all of theirs, the back videos and stuff. And it's a journey in itself.
Yeah, it's very hard. I'm working on 2 videos right now. One's my road trip that I took down when I went down to Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
And another video I'm working on is a shout out video for younger channels under 1,000.
Oh, nice. Now you met up with OMJ, right? Armandora Journey.
Yep.
Isn't he in Texas?
No, he's in Mississippi.
Oh, see, that's where I've been mixed up. I got mixed up. That's why I was like, when you said Mississippi, I started thinking, wait a minute. I thought, there you go. I get mixed up. So that's the way it is.
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Thanks for coming by, Woodcutter. I appreciate that you're busy as heck. Even just doing your job looks like you're busy as heck. So I really appreciate it. Everybody coming by. And I'll be putting up the wallpaper as soon as possible, Cecilia. I have to the texture on the wall where they added a piece of wall is thick, but the old texture I think is good enough that I'm not even going to sand it. The really thick stuff, I'm going to sand it down and smoothen it. It's about maybe a foot wide. The rest of it, we're going to run with it and try to hang it. After dude said whether he's kidding or not, I don't know. But after he claimed that it'd be $10,000 to hang it, I said, I'll put Gorilla Glue on the MFR and hang it myself if it's going to cost $10,000. You know, I said the whole word, so not just the letters. But I texted this to the dude, and he, I'll call you when I get. And then he called me and tried to work it out. But we kind of had a falling out. I thought dude was a friend until then. Anyway, so yeah, soon I have a friend now that's gonna. I'm gonna give some money to help me do it. Never hung wallpaper, and this person has, so that's a good. It'll be better off than just me never having done it. It's going to be neat. Yeah, everybody come by and see after I've done it. It's going to be neat. But anyway.
Well, I'd have to stop by on my way to the Philippines.
Yeah, you come by California?
Yeah, I'll be, I have to fly out of LA.
And when are you coming?
Well, it's not going to be for a while yet. Jeannie has to.
From now, maybe, or?
Well, Jeannie has to get here first.
Oh, she's coming from the Philippines to here? Is that what?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, you know, contact me and we'll see what we could do. Meet up and, you know, whatever. We'll see how things go, right?
Well, she may be coming. She may be coming to San Fran.
Oh, okay.
And I may be heading out there to meet up with her.
Mm-hmm.
She's got family there in San Fran.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Glenn, I thought so too. So I don't know if dude was really joking or if he was trying to soften me up so a few thousand wouldn't sound bad. But through that, we kind of had a falling out because then I set up a day that the guy that texted was going to come and supposedly was going to need 2 days. And, but anyhow, I couldn't because the shift I was working, I would have had to be there 5 hours later and I was tired. Through that, then I kind of sandbagged on him and kept him hanging on and made him, you know, suffer a little bit after he made me suffer for 2 freaking months or whatever it was waiting on him. And then so-and-so's busy and all the contractors at the end of the year. So I said, you know what? He could go do the rest of his work then. I'll do this myself. So I use that as an out, I guess. I guess that was kind of rotten. But
yeah, that's what you did.
You know, that was my, like, go for it. After he played me like that was going to be 10 grand. I'm still a little set off about it. I don't know what his agenda was, but I thought dude was a friend. You don't try to just gouge somebody that's a friend.
I'm working with a nonprofit here in Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting me games for hydroponics.
Oh, to learn.
Right.
Nice.
This way we can teach.
Cool, Joe.
Teach kids in the orphanages.
It really is. It's one of the ways forward. But yeah, that was my rotten streak you heard about where it's, you know, I was congenial, and then it's like, you know, no. It's anyway, sorry. But,
yeah, we're gonna be doing what we'll be doing with Iran is we'll be teaching kids how to garden with hydroponics from the orphanages.
I think, that's extra great. I don't know what the details, but I think if it's possible to do with salt water, excellent, because a lot of what we get out of the sea is the saltwater things, right? That people like. But I don't know the feasibility of all this. And because I'm not a big seafood person, I'm not going to get involved in the middle of it. And then unless I can trade it, then I'm stuck with all whatever, right? So that's the thing. You got to do what you're going to eat.
That's one thing that we're going to be doing with the hydroponics.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I like the ideas of all that, and I've read about it a few times, and I have a relative that kind of got into it at Humboldt State, and then anyway, he's working at a place they harvest brine shrimp out of Great Salt Lake or someplace, I think, in Utah.
I'm not too worried about the saltwater part of it. I'm more worried about the fruits and vegetables that are harder to grow in certain areas.
Okay. Where do you get? You're going to do the tropical things, right? Because the Philippines
Right.
were tropical.
Right, but I'm also going to be introducing like American potatoes out there.
Like potato, tomato, that kind of.
Right.
Beets, maybe stuff like that.
Right.
Cool. There's a place for that, I think, especially if you're doing it like that. You don't have to worry about like it's a tropical soil and you're making your own thing.
Right. And we'll be using fertilizer from the animals.
Plus, there's tons of excess. I hear, I'm thinking aquaponic. Are you thinking aquaponic or just hydroponic?
Hydroponic.
Okay, so with the aquaponic, you have excess nitrogen.
Right.
So, in any case, I was thinking aquaponic the whole time. So sorry, I got a little off on the wrong tangent. But hey, great. You know what? You're making a step forward to make things better for people, teaching people how to make things better. That's a great thing. I'm wholeheartedly for those type of things.
Once we teach the kids and they take it forward from the orphanage, take it out into real life, they'll be able to continue on.
Right. They'll be able to get a lifestyle out of it. Build a community, right? Build up their small village or town, or at least their family with it.
Yes, you can grow potatoes with hydroponics.
That's cool.
You can grow maize, anything that you can normally grow in soil. I'll be grown hydroponic.
You might branch later. You're thinking hydro right now, but you might later think, if you get going, think aquaponics too, because you can grow the seafood and the vegetables are just the extra, like. But I'm just saying, it might be something to think about. It might not. I know everything a person gets doing just turns into so much that, that might be your only just doing.
For right now, we're just going to work on the hydroponic because of the fact, which we don't want too much onto them too fast.
Yeah, you don't want to. It's like with my place. I'm trying not to spread myself too thin, and I know it could happen in a hurry. If I start putting on, I'm going to compost this Yeah, I'm doing one little pit, going from there, because that's my energies only are going into it now. So I've learned the lesson over time of don't get too much going at once. Just get it, slow roll.
And then the one thing that we're also going to be teaching them, like their chicken eggs. They're going to be able to break those up, put those in the soil for more nutrients.
Or like duck eggs too. I just saw a thing the other day. The guy was putting duck egg, and he said because look, the ducks, him and his wife don't like the duck egg to eat, and he was just burying them in the soil, breaking them and putting them in his planters.
Exactly. You can do that with your.
Personally, if I'm going to have an egg, I think duck eggs are better. But hey, to each his own. So it's a new thing that I never thought of, that you could put them in there like that as a fertilizer.
You can also use your coffee.
Hmm.
If you smoke, you can use your cigarette ash and excess tobacco.
Makes
It all
sense. It's
breaks
all
down.
from the earth, huh?
Yeah.
I've heard of people getting the coffee grounds from these coffee shop places like the Pete's or the Starbucks or even some small town little. I got to get more buckets, and then pretty soon you incorporate that into, like, when I go one way or the other and I pass that place, try, hey, can I get a bucket load again, and start incorporating that. Free resource, and just keep doing that. I don't know what time I was going to wait for. It's almost set. And one more minute, I'll make the drawing. I think I got 4 to give away. So it looks like I got 4 or 5 people here. So I don't know who the 5th one was. Arkansas Woodcutter, Cecilia, J3, whoever comes up. That's Glenn, How to Garden. It looks like somebody never commented. I don't know who it is unless they comment, but hey, I think that's great. Keep moving forward. Like my thing, I used to think you had to know every detail, and I'm more into this philosophy of, you just say yes. The idea is yes, it's going to happen, and you just keep moving towards it the best way you can, whatever comes. And because if you wait until you have every detail dialed in, it might be 20 more years or something, or you just give up to, I don't know how everything's going to happen. So I just decided I don't have a nonprofit set up. I don't have any of a multitude of things set up. And I just said, this is what I'm going to do. And
How to garden, you know exactly what I'm saying about the coffee grounds. About using that for fertilizer.
It's supposed to be high nitrogen, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Agante Tambok Tianak. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you're eligible for the drawing.
Welcome in.
Thanks for coming by.
But there's a lot to your leafy greens that you have left over when you're cooking, like your tops. Throw those into your compost.
Well, I don't know how you feel about this, but there's a book called Humanure. You let it cook down for a year or 2 just to make it as safe as totally possible, and then you can use your human waste, so-called waste, also.
Yeah.
And at some point I'll probably do that. I'll still have available the regular standard plumbing that if somebody wants to use, but as an option, I'll have that, at least for me. And anyway, there's a lot of things. I mean, there's green manure, like bean and pea family, fix nitrogen in the soil. Nitrogen fixing trees. I don't know what ones are tropical and stuff, but yeah, it's great. People need to learn these things. That's the point I'm getting at. It's great that you're trying to reach out and teach, and great. Every little bit for the better is going to help somewhere in the world, help some people live a better life. And that's even what permaculture is about, helping us all live a more vibrant life without doing as much damage, so it's a combination.
Pete's Little Homestead is in the house.
Pete's Little Homestead, you are eligible for the giveaway, brother. Let me put you down. At this point, everybody isn't going to win. So at one point they were, but then I waited. It makes it more fun.
That's fine.
If more people are here, it's almost like you actually won something, other than just like, oh, well, 2 people are here and I have 3 things to give away, right? This one I'll tear in half. Yeah, that's great. So when do you plan on starting up with all this, Joe, in probably 2 years' time?
Well, as soon as Jeannie gets here and we get registered on the international, That's when we'll be getting it all kicked up and going.
I'll be interested in seeing how that is. If we're registering as an international nonprofit, is it through the U.S. you registered?
No.
That way?
No, I send off to Spain. That's where the international community's at
Oh,
for nonprofits.
yeah. See, that's beyond anything I had knowledge of. So, wow, interesting. That's why all these things connecting, collaborating are good. I'm finding out things that, wow, what? Yeah, that's really neat.
I deal with Spain. They will any country that I pay for out there with them,
Uh huh.
they'll take care of all the paperwork for me.
Really? I know Spain has a big network of cooperatives, this Mondragon thing, and just tremendous. I don't know exactly if they just build appliances. I think it's like their appliance factories and stuff. But everybody that's in like the cooperative world brags about them. If they're trying
Tom
to.
Puck says don't send it or don't put him in the drawing because you'd have to send it to Darwin, Australia.
Okay, well, heck with you then. I'm kidding. It might be a touch pricey, I think is what you're getting at, and take quite a while. Because the books I ordered, the big giveaway for my 4-year, let me show, was this Permaculture Designer's Manual. I don't know how many, I think it took like a couple months to get here from Australia. They got stuck in customs, and but I had to order them directly from them for some reason. The other places didn't have them, so I had to order directly from Tagari, and it took a while. Good thing I planned ahead, that I knew the 4-year anniversary was coming up. But we'll see. If it's under $10, I'll send it to you. How's that? I really doubt it'll be under $10. So let me say, if it's under $20, I'll send it to you.
It'd probably be close to 40. Depends on the weight.
Wow, for like a $2 magazine.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people put magazines, clothes, food all in Ballad Bion boxes going to the Philippines.
Why is that? Because like it goes in a container or something, and you get a lot in there?
Well, it's a large box. You pay one price.
Uh-huh.
Fill it up.
Sure.
And you can ship it.
Going through like the mail or something. Because it's a shipping container, right? Am I getting that right? Like they put on trucks?
Yeah, it's almost like those boxes, those large shipping boxes that you see like at Walmart. That multiple items come in, or at Home Depot or somewhere like that.
You could pack a whole lot in for one price. Huh? That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And well, we'll see if you win first, Agante, and then we'll worry about it. Okay. I don't want to short
If I fall off, if I fall off here, Ron, I've been having trouble with StreamYard for the last few days.
Oh, really? Huh. That's a shame. Do you know why, or?
Well, I'm on my cell phone for one.
Okay. Huh. Okay, so maybe I should draw this pretty soon. If not, I'll get a hold of you somehow. I'll get a comment through your what you call, through your channel. Try to shake up this bag. I was putting them in a bucket before, but anyway, I didn't clean out. I composted with a bucket. I didn't really clean it out sufficiently to put paper in it without it having like a compost in. Oh, first up, Cecilia Jansen. You won, Cecilia. So that means you owe me a hat. That's a joke. I had her making me a wool hat. Cecilia Jansen, first winner of the day.
I just sent you my messenger,
Okay.
my Facebook Messenger, and private chat.
I didn't know there was a private chat here, Joe. what a neophyte I am. I had no idea. Okay, I got your name, but is that
Yeah.
what do I do with that?
You can. That's my name for Facebook.
Okay. Well, I don't do
Messenger.
Facebook, but here's what I'll do: is I'll post. Let me see if you win, and if you do, I'll post my email. You can email me. How's that?
Okay.
That way, it saves me getting involved with that Zuckerbergling. Involved with him. I don't want to get Zuckerberg. So next up is Glenn at How to Garden. You just won, Glenn.
Congratulations.
Congrats to you both so far. And somehow I shook it up, but it seems like them are the first two I put in. So coincidentally, and I only put one each per person. So I tried to shake it up, but how can you shake it up in a bag, I guess? Maybe I'm an idiot. I don't have those fancy, some people are real high tech and they have a thing where electronically it's like a wheel spinning on their screen, all this. I don't have them abilities. Okay, so next up is Arkansas Woodcutter. You won one, Arkansas. If you don't want, if you get it, you don't like it, do what you want. Pass it on, maybe. Maybe you know somebody that would like it. Anyway, so who's next? I have temptation to want to look, but then I'm biased if I look, right? Hey, you won, Joe. Joe and Jenny Journey. And so, yeah, I'll post my email. Email me, and I'll get back to you with your address, or just email me. And after a few back and forths, and we'll.
Tell you what, here, I'll send my email in private. This way you got it.
Okay, but I'll put mine. I don't mind if whoever can email me. Right? Oh, okay. You can put it in private chat. Yeah, and I'll write it down here on my little. So you'll know when I email you or whatever. That's me.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, hopefully there's some information in the magazine that'll be helpful to you or interesting, or that goes for all of you. I'm sure some of it will be, and some maybe not, but maybe it's some food for thought somewhere in there, or maybe a gardener or somebody that might be interested, or like I say, worst come to worst, you could turn it into squares of paper, okay, and get some use out of it. So, okay, I'll have to email you with that. And who else? Hello, Pete. Sorry, Pete, you didn't win this time. Come back next quarter. I'm going to try to do this quarterly. And I mean, come back before then, but I will have a giveaway. Try to have a giveaway. I said that all wrong, right?
Yeah, you did.
Don't come back for 3 months. That's not what I meant.
Don't come back for 4 months. No, come on.
3 months. Try again.
Everybody come back as much as you can.
Exactly. Support as much as you choose, and the more the merrier. And if anybody, I keep putting up the invite all the time when I have my live show. This is kind of a shout out party, if somebody wants to come up and talk about their channel, like Joe has, or just a garden story, some story of what they got going on. Just because I'm not talking about it doesn't mean it's not interesting to me. Okay. So, or potentially.
Yeah, I just had a premiere 4 o'clock my time, which would have been 2 o'clock your time out there.
Oh, okay.
It was, I don't know if you remember Union Station in St. Louis.
No.
The train depot.
I think that might have been in one of the Godfather movies, was it? I'm not sure. Train station, one of them.
I'm not sure about that.
Like a stroller or something going down, but baby buggy. It could be the wrong one. Hi, John Williams. Hi, Hardneck Farms. Thanks for coming by, both of you. Yeah, I don't know. Not real familiar with it.
Hey, Sean.
I haven't really been east much, which I know they call that Midwest, but to me, east. So. I've been to Pennsylvania once. I had an ex that her friend was moving back to Pennsylvania, yada yada. So I took my little Ford Ranger and her bunch of junk back there for her. And got back there, and the lady's mom said, "You brought all this junk?" And I thought, "Wow, I'm dumb." I thought it was junk, and I kind of thought, it's just the way I'm dealing, thinking about it, right? Turned out it was junk. Anyway, so yeah, everybody, thanks for coming by. And anybody else want to come up? I'll put the invite link again. If anybody wants to come up on the panel, talk about your channel, have something other interesting, at least to you, to say, come on up. Because we don't know until we say if it's interesting to somebody else. That's my point. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and those that won. Here, let me post my link again, my banner with my email. Contact me with your real address. Put something in the subject that tells me basically it's not junk mail. Hi, Nathan. You're Tagante.
That's me.
Okay. How you doing? You were on.
Yeah, doing well.
I was on one day. I don't know. Was it
the
Hapsters? Okay. When you start watching so many different channels, like I saw somebody somewhere. So yeah, email me there and with your address.
No, it wasn't the Hapsters. It was Brett's, I think.
Oh,
Brett's or Sean.
Yeah. Dude's up in the Pacific Northwest, and he had his place flooded or something, and
you got burned out, eh?
Oh yeah, and the water damage was from like the fire department or something.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. He was, but I think I came from the Hapsters, and she pushed it to like, hey, let's go check this guy out, and then I subscribed and I watch it. I would think I was on there today, and I think that was either yesterday or 2 days ago or something. I was on there. So yeah, if anybody else wants to come up, feel free to come up. Signal issues. Yeah, I get it, J3. It happens. This happened to me here as the host, the party host. All of a sudden, it's like you didn't pay the power bill or something. Yeah, everything's done. This party's going great.
I don't think
it's
It'll be the internet connection that's dropping them out more than StreamYard.
Could be, yeah. Here it was, I started doing with an Ethernet cable, and then it's been okay lately, so I haven't. But it would be a good insurance policy to always hook up the cable.
Yeah, you got to have a strong connection to come on in.
I fell into a lull because a couple times it didn't break, right? So now I'm just chancing it again. It's on Wi-Fi, but when I get it set up at the my house, I plan to just have it set up where the Ethernet cable's right there all the time. Plug in, or just always plugged in, and then go on. That way, no chance of it just running down. That's going to be, I'm thinking I want to have collaborations, like if people want to show up live, literally there to the place. I mean, if somebody can, play the guitar or whatever, teach a little bit of it, and I can be there and they can expose them, and, make my channel more fun too. Why not?
Yeah, you got to mix it up a bit, eh?
Yeah, permaculture is connected to everything. So, it's just a matter of that subtle shift, a lot of it, right? We need to just make them subtle shifts and connect to everything we can, make it better.
Yeah.
And plus, nobody
It's a
wants to
pity
just
Joe
watch me
dropped off.
talk, right? At least I'm thinking nobody wants to just sit and watch me talk. So, more people come up and talk, and it's fun for everybody, hopefully.
Depends what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, maybe I should talk about women in bikini. Huh? 8,000 guys show
Oh
up.
yeah, that's.
Maybe I should have on the thumbnail, I do believe, though, honestly, that if I had women on the panel more often, more guys would show. That's just human nature. Ad's waiting to be. Yeah. I think the ad's waiting to be knit, Cecilia. You're sandbagging on me, lady.
Come back, Joe. I want to pick your brains, man.
Yeah, you guys do that down there? I'm kidding.
You know what I mean.
No, I know.
He's talking about organic hydroponics. Well, that's a concept I've never ever heard about.
Yeah, you have
Like getting animal.
There might even
not getting animal manure and making a hydroponic mix.
I don't think
crazy.
There's an issue, honestly, but a lot of these will have it in there. I'm wondering how much it'll cost now to send you this issue. You went? I'm not even sure now. Joe and J3 won.
Nah.
Arkansas Woodcutter won. Oh, thank goodness you didn't win. So it wasn't purposeful, but
no.
Look into. There's also one out of England, Permaculture Design Magazine. So maybe you guys have some kind of connection. I'm not sure. I don't understand all the country to country connection, but maybe it's.
A mate of mine's doing this regenerative agriculture in a big way. And he's growing gum trees along with the garden, and whole areas to cut and drop.
Okay.
Cut and drop. So cut and drop. Yeah. So yeah.
What do you do with the trees, though? Do you use the wood for anything, or it's just for chop and drop?
Chop and drop.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, gum is euc tree, right? Eucalyptus.
Yep, eucalyptus trees. Yeah.
Yeah, we had people bring them here way back when, and they're a
pest now.
There was something that people are going, why the heck did people bring them? And somebody had a wonderful idea about making wood farm or something, right? And found out some problems with it after they brought it, like all the crazy stuff people have done in the world everywhere. Same old song, a lot of places in the world. Well, I think I could do it. And they don't look into it and think very far, just like, this sounds like a great idea, and I'll be rich. And then next thing, maybe they're not rich, or they are, but either way, and then it's just like, unleashed it.
Yep. It's like one fruit tree grower said to me, if I was starting a block up here, I'd plant the whole block in black wattles and let them go for a few years, and then I'd put them all into the ground, and then I'd start my orchard. And I said that to one environmentalist friend of mine about the black wattle, and he flipped out, and he told me about how the black wattle puts like hormones into the ground that only allow black wattles to grow.
That's the thing with some trees do that. They got those exudates, like walnut's famous for that, and I think euc does it too, if I remember right.
Yep.
A lot of trees,
so
they only want a certain variety of things, and some of them don't want anything but their own.
That's it. So apparently the English took the black wattle to Afghanistan back in the day, and totally messed up the joint. And it's also been taken to Africa and totally messed up the joint.
Hey, it's destructive here. Let's bring it there. Let's see what
Yeah.
we can make.
Well,
You know,
well, it does all right in its home ground in Australia, you know. But if you take it somewhere else where it can go crazy,
right?
you've got a problem.
You know, like in Hawaii, the rats got loose. I think from the shipping, right? So they came off, got in the islands. So then they brought the mongoose to control them. Then they found out after this wonderful idea, they don't hardly intersect with each other. It's just like a big brown rat.
Mhm.
You see them dead all the time, hit by cars and everything. The mongoose.
Mongoose.
You know, it just amazes me how endlessly dumb people don't look close into anything and just like, that sounds like the perfect idea. Let it loose on society in another area. And after a while, it's just like, that mongoose, you just kind of hate him because, like, it's one more pest. You see him dead all over the place. And not that I encountered any personally, but, you know, you see, like, another one didn't make it. You see him run across the road sometimes.
I reckon the Malungai tree would be a good chop and drop row. Moringa.
Oh, Moringa is supposed to be a great, you know, in tropicals area tree. I don't know what there's probably some great downside to that too, but
yeah,
suppose you can eat the whole
probably
tree.
won't work in your area. I don't think.
I'm not tropical, so I mean, I could manipulate a little bit my yard because we're 9 feet. I think it's like one zone up. I could put glass and stuff, but I was thinking of that, and I don't know. It just depends. Depends how much other human energy I get to help me work this place, basically. Because, like I say, if I start getting spread too thin, I won't be able to do nothing. So,
How much area do you have?
Hmm?
How much area do you have to work?
Including the house, at one time it was a half acre, and now I'm thinking it's like 3/8. That's my guess. I mean, it's between a half acre and a quarter, probably. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
That's a decent bit.
pretty big. A lot of it's
Yeah.
under pavement. So what I'm going to do is just half barrels for now instead of building a raised bed. Get half barrels, fill them with soil, and go from there.
Mhm.
And rebuild some of the patches of soil where I have open soil and just step at a time, just to kind of see where it lands. If I could get someone to do aquaponic or something here, I'd let them have a space and, you know, work out some kind of trade. But I'm not big on fish. Otherwise, aquaponic sounds like the perfect. Less pressure on the ocean and all this and that, you know, and but unless I eat the fish, you know, because what if you don't have a market for it suddenly or whatever, then you're stuck with it if you're not going to eat it. I mean, it could turn into fish that's fertilizer, you know, but I mean, you know, it's just
nothing wrong with that.
It's not the perfect, like yanking all this to make fertilizer, you know. Of course, to some degree you are anyway, but
yeah,
many uses out of it. But that's the thing too. I have enough space that if I get the right people to come here and want to do different projects, I can facilitate that in some form or fashion, some kind of a trade, or like, hey, you could use this part of the yard and do this, and we could do some workshops, and just knowing that I'm not going to be able to do it all myself. I'm trying to figure out how all this can intersect and do some good things. And I have a meeting.
You know how
I have to set it up better, but I have kind of a meeting space that we used to have family functions. We'd have 30 people in there eating. Okay, so that's a decent meeting space for different groups. Could be rare fruit growers or tropical fruit growers or whatever, regenerative ag, whatever category of all this stuff that, you know, people want to get together. And next door are some big hills that are regional park district. I'd like to get involved with the I've joined the Native Plant Society here, but I haven't got involved yet. I'd like to be able to start a project where we just plant the fence line. That could last me the rest of my life. And I could propagate some here, and then I wouldn't have to go far to do some good too outside of my property. And I'm thinking things like that to integrate some energies. And
Hi, Mama Hapster.
Hi, Hap. Thanks for coming by. You missed the giveaway, but in 3 months, I plan to do it again. Also, I'm going to have, when I hit 500, I plan to have a giveaway. So the more support I get, the sooner that can come. Also, I was saying earlier in the broadcast that I don't have a beard, but I'm going to start the Save the Beards campaign. When I get 10,000 subs, I think I can afford to grow the beard back. So anybody wants to help with that, I greatly appreciate it. And but yeah, thanks for coming by, Haps. I've been trying to watch.
No, sorry.
I've been trying to watch stuff app, and anyway, I might make it over. I'll try to contact you guys if I make it to Oahu in the next month. Go ahead, Nathan. Say what you want to say.
Here's an idea for you. It was come to me as an advert actually, but I didn't want to pay the fee that this guy wanted to teach his secret. But just by googling it out, I've seen a few things on Pinterest, and I sort of got half the gist of what he's on about. And what he's doing is he's putting like a flood and drain bed underneath a raised bed. So he's got a flood and drain bed with like a geomat,
like a wicking
to stop
bed.
the roots going into. Yeah, so he's got pieces of wicking coming out of the flood and drain gravel bed going up into the soil, into the upper area. So it wicks it out of the flood and drain.
Mm-hmm.
So and he's also big on microbes.
Oh, see, I want to get into all that too. Bokashi and just every kind of EM.
Yeah.
And weed tea.
EM.
I don't mean weed like you smoke. Just you get your regular comfrey, whatever kind of weeds and stuff, and you soak them and let it kind of rot. And you dump it there, and it builds up everything.
Yeah.
It could be weed type that you smoke too, maybe. I don't know what nutrients are in that, but in any case, yeah, I think that's great. I want to have work. I want to bring people that know different aspects here, and I can learn better, and other people can come as like a workshop and learn and just share what they know and just have this intersection of everything, right? And then we'll make videos.
The main thing with growing plants is you've got to remember you're not fertilizing, you're not feeding the plant, you're feeding the microbes that feed the plant.
Exactly, you're building soil.
That's right. The microbes are your greatest asset in your soil.
Exactly. Yeah. We kind of gloss over that sometimes by saying, "Hey, grow a food forest, do this, do that," but really, grow the soil, feed the soil. That's the real beginning. If I wanted to spend, say, 5 or 10 more years building this place, I would just build the soil. But I want to get it started sooner, so I'm going to end up buying soil again for my planters, and just because to get it going, get it up and rolling quicker. And it would be cheaper and stuff, but I don't want to spend that much more time building it all first, and I'll buy some local made soil. Yeah, ideally, like Howie's doing, of course, I don't know how many years he's been doing it. You know, Howie, the food forest permaculture, he builds all these pathway soil banks, and then he inoculates soil somewhere else from that. And that's the thing. At some point, it'll be, maybe I can just sell a little bit of soil that you can go inoculate your own soil with. Say a half gallon. Okay,
Yeah.
This is so much. Now bring it
My
back.
idea is
Inoculate your yard, right?
get a bottle of EM. That's the distributor of it.
And
There's a crowd over there. That John Kohler did a big thing on EM, and when he went and visited Hawaii.
okay, I'm gonna have to look at his stuff again.
Yeah.
Got away from it because I've
So-
been doing all this other stuff, but I'll have to look through his stuff again and
Yeah.
check it out because I want to kick
Yeah,
this.
he's the ultimate salesman, John Kohler. He might annoy you. He annoys me the way he rambles on. Like what we were
Yeah,
saying
I
before.
wish he'd say it once
But
or
yeah,
twice, not like 30 times, and have like a 10-minute video instead
Yeah.
of being 15 minutes. It's over and over, you know, and just
That's right.
something about it is a little much for me, my brain sometimes. So that's why I don't watch him continuously like I did at first. But no, he's got some good things there for sure. I'm not knocking what he has to say. It just his mannerism doesn't quite match with me too well. So.
Yeah.
No, Cecilia, I wasn't able to find any comfrey seeds yet, but if anybody here knows where you can get some comfrey seeds, let Cecilia know. I don't know where that is. She's in Canada, so I don't know if there's a place in Canada. I've been kind of looking. I don't even have comfrey in the yard yet, but that's a good thing I want to get. And, along with all the other good things I want to do. You know, and do that, this, I run around, you know, and I'm trying not to make it all a crazy run around, but yeah. They are you gonna put another live pretty soon, Hapster? You gonna go live pretty soon again? Yeah, everybody thumb up if they want, or thumb up or down. I'm fine with either one. Comment, and if everybody, even if you don't play this again on the replay, just come back and make a comment on the replay under the replay video, please, and that helps. Where are you at, Sean Williams? In an hour, you're having a live show, Hapsters? Maybe I'll continue this on for an hour. Then, if anybody wants to jump over there, how's that sound? Yeah, you know, I don't know, Cecilia, but I will throw it out there that if anybody knows, maybe Howie knows somewhere in Canada comfrey seeds. Humphrey seeds. Gee, not enough rest on it. You know. Nice. So 9. I think that's actually an hour and a half. So I got 8:36 PDT right now. So you're 5:36.
Hey, Vicky.
Oh, hi, Exotic Pine. Thanks for coming by. Wow, I'm getting a cult following here. Cool. I think this is the most amount of people that came by on my live streams. You know, I could be wrong though, because sometimes Arkansas Woodcutter will have a Friday, and once or twice I said, hey, I'll set one up, and then you come over, and people came over. I think I had 11 or 12. I just missed some. Oh, hi, Jay. Thanks for coming by, Jay. Like I say, anybody wants to come up on the panel, feel free. I'll put up the link again, just because it's like way up in the comments somewhere. But yeah, all good ideas, Nathan. I mean, I appreciate it. It doesn't mean I'll do everything, but you know what I mean? I'm working towards something good, and input's always good.
Yeah, well, the thing is with some of these ideas, I think the go is just to try them in a micro way. Just start small. Just have a little go at it.
I think so.
Don't go all out and go crazy, you know.
I want to look into the bokashi too, because one of the things about bokashi is I eat a lot more white rice than I used to, so that's a natural. When you rinse the rice, that rice water. So I would do a double rinse, and a lot of water going down the drain that I could be making something good out of, right? So. Hardneck Farm. Yeah, Arkansas. I like Arkansas Woodcutter. Sometimes the channels aren't, they're not necessarily what I'm doing, but a lot of what I do is by the feel I have for somebody. If I watch your channel and the vibe they give off, that's what I've realized. So, like I said, some people we've mentioned have really good, information, but just something about the vibe, it just doesn't fit with me, right? So I just bypass a little bit around. And but I've noticed that with me, a lot of the ones I watch the most, it's kind of the vibe. So that's the thing. That way I don't knock anybody, but some people, there's no need to hate. I just don't get as close to it. Okay, that's all. It's like some people you might work with, they just got like, oh gee, that just let me get some space. Don't have to hate that person. One of the phrases I came up with recently is don't hate, create. Okay, instead of hating somebody else's channel, create your own good video or whatever.
Yeah.
You can.
My understanding of that Bokashi though, the rice water,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you use to capture your microbes from the environment.
Oh, okay. And then does it have something to do with milk too?
And then that's right. You capture it with that.
So then you get the milk, something like that.
Yeah.
What I have to find out too, I had a question.
Then you put that.
Who to ask is, could I use the raw milk that you buy in the store, or is there something that's going to be like super deadly, whatever, come attack? You know what I mean? That type of thing, because the raw milk.
Well, you
extra healthy.
Captured it in the rice water, breed it up in the milk, right? And then after that, then you start breeding it up further with molasses.
Oh, okay. Because the sugary part keeps it going. Okay. And then you throw it out into your circle, basically, I guess.
Yep.
They, it's funny because I saw some of these things, and years ago as a bachelor, I made some of that, something similar to that without even trying, right? I had liquid things that liquefied in the fridge. You wouldn't even believe what turned into liquid on. I mean, potatoes. I don't know how long it took. Bag of liquid later, in the refrigerator. It must have been months. Look back there. What was this? This kind of weird looking liquid. And now I realize, I could probably turn that and dump that in the garden. But I was like, oh, it's terrible. Or in the cupboard, they'd be growing out of the cupboard, and then the thing that's left in there is all kind of liquidy and mushy. And wow. Single men especially, they haven't learned how to cook and stuff. They can make a lot of good microbes without even trying. I wish I had known about gardening back then. I'd have probably had the best garden on the block. It was great. It's crazy. And then the mystery things, this mystery thing, this looks like something that was green at one time on purpose, and then now it's green for other reasons, and just all this liquidy, like, what's that? But yeah, I'll try to make it over there in an hour, or you're thinking, what time, Hap? 7 p.m. Hawaii time? Is that what you're saying? But yeah, Nathan, hey, if you want to say something, feel free. I don't know if I accidentally muted you, just unmute it.
Yeah, I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
Sometimes I look and I go, oh, so did I get something? I don't always know. Yeah, chop and drop is a thing. I was just telling my neighbor that I'm waiting to get a big bunch of wood chips and chop the weeds down and chip everything. Bury it in the chips and all that. And so to alleviate their fears of, like, I'm going to live in the weed jungle type of thing. And, I'm not too worried about it, but he says, but I think to some degree he was, right? I let him know.
No, you need to embrace your weeds. Your weeds are there for a purpose.
Yeah.
And They're building the soil.
Hmm.
Never be scared of weeds.
Oh, I'm not. It just, to some degree, it's kind of unsightly, which I don't totally care,
Yeah.
but to some degree, I kind of have to care, right? So, wheat tea and all this, I'm going to start. And I'm in a place, it's ideal because there's only like 7 houses on the street. And it's not like it's within a grid system of the next houses are like a mile or 2 away. So in that way, there's not 30 neighbors going to complain. At the most, maybe 6 or 7 neighbors. That stinks. Total. I could just put it in the back and they won't know it's smelling until I dump it on the yard. Hi, Echo. Thanks for coming by. You missed the giveaway, but I think that I'll have one on quarterly. The magazine comes out quarterly. Here's what I gave away: is Permaculture Design magazine, the fall issue, the American version. And I plan to give these away quarterly for some time. And also, when I hit like 500 subscribers, I'm going to have some kind of giveaway. I'm not sure if it'll be this or some other reading material. And also, at the end of the year, as I did last year, I'm going to give $1 per subscriber to some good certified, like nonprofit or something that's genuinely. In other words, I'm not just going to say, "Oh, I'm giving it to something," and stick it in the other pocket in my jeans, right? So just so it kind of proves out that I'm actually supporting something, and just because I like to support things anyway, and it gives me an excuse. It's not like I'm making anything here, but that's just the thing, and it pushes me that I can do better for something. If I have more subscribers, it kind of pushes me to get more. If the support the beard thing doesn't work, I have other avenues to try to gain attention and everything. But hey, don't make all the beards disappear. That's the thing. Support your beard brothers. Give me 10,000 subscribers so I can afford to grow the beard back. Right? That's the thing. Save the beard. Should I start Save the Beards Foundation? I don't want to have a bald chin forever. Okay, I found it wasn't too. It looked kind of unsightly wearing the mask, and but if I have enough subscribers, I won't have to intersect with the stores and things as often. And then save the beard. I want that John Muir beard again. Look, I got this from John Muir National Historic Site or whatever. Original home site. Oh, I didn't know it was taped onto the shedder. Now I'm trying to peel it off. Yeah, John Muir. The old Muir beard. Similarities. Guy, he wasn't perfect. He wasn't perfect like all of us, but he did a lot of good things. So anyway, I'd like to get the Muir beard going back again. I want to be one of the Beard Brothers again. Don't deprive me. Help me get 10,000. Save the beard.
If one of your parents doesn't have a beard, you got 2 mums.
That's funny. My dad never had any facial hair, but I do like the joke anyway. Yeah. And if they both do, look out.
Yeah.
I had a female distant cousin that she had a beard.
Okay.
She apparently she liked females more. That's what I gathered later. So it was one of those. Maybe she was a masculine role. Maybe certain activities was beneficial. I don't know. It's a guess. And but yeah, she was friendly enough. Well, I didn't really interact with her. Right? She was a neighbor at one point. I tried not to because she had a reputation of being very aggressive. So apparently she was the male figure in the group, right? So that's whatever. She is too old for anything to be beneficial to me in that regard. card, so there's no. Being a witness wouldn't have been a good thing. Yeah, I like that. I like that. One of them doesn't have a beard, you get two mothers. Funny thing, a lot of people think, oh, you come from a hippie family, this and that, alternative. Nothing could be further from the truth. My parents were so mainstream. I mean, they didn't compost. They grew a garden a couple times. They didn't know about building soil. It's like, how come it didn't come out right? And that was kind of it. You know, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, which was normal in them days. And my dad brought home the bacon, so to speak, for the rest of us and raised 6 of us on that. And he had a job where he had to be available 24/7 pretty much. And, you know, if somebody gave him a call, he needed some support, he had to be there for him. And he felt he should be. So anyway, that's the thing. And so people want to make it easy to give them an out, right? To say, hey, no, that guy's just a hippie, come from a hippie family, alternative, all this. I don't have to do anything. They'll pull my weight. No. I had to evolve into this kind of alternative, find all this stuff out myself. Nobody dropped it on my lap for whatever reason. So if you have an idea that you want to be interested in growing things and all this, pursue it. You know, people probably aren't going to knock on your door with a bunch of permaculture guides and garden guides and all this. So anyway, that's my little deal there. And permaculture is an inclusive thing. So people want to feel like triggered because they haven't been included. Well, that's because you didn't knock on the permaculture door, because they would have gladly let you in. You have to pay your fee like everybody, of course, because it's not this giant thing where there's some billionaires running it, you know, where, hey, we got plenty of, no, it's, you got to pay your way, but then you can, as long as the gloves fit your hand and you can lift the shovel, you can help, or you can save the seed, you can help. Permaculture.
I can see it. I can see an opening here. Like, imagine if people were going around saying, knocking on your, hi, we're here from the Church of Permaculture. We would like to talk to you. Like Mormons.
Yeah. We're from the Church of Latter-day Seeds. Maybe Former Day Seeds would be a better one. We're from the Church of Former Day Seeds. Heirloom, whenever possible. Organic always. Maximum beneficial. We could have a comedy rap going on here. You know, this at least it'd be funny to us. I don't know about anybody else. It has to be funny to the person that makes it up, though, or what's the point? You know what I mean? Whether or not anybody else likes it. Oh, you're on your way to get your motorhome together, Echo? Is that what? I'm missing some of the stuff, but God, in the kitchen faucet taking it. Are you putting everything?
Sounds like he's converting a bus.
Yeah, she's building a bus of some sort, and they're going to go on the road. I told them that I might have space because I got a big curved driveway. I didn't measure it out yet, Echo. I kind of forgot. 23 footer, you said? I think that's a small one, right? Or did you say the 35 footer? If it's a 35, I don't know. But otherwise, maybe you can park at my spot and check out the Bay Area, whatever.
I live in a bus. I'm in a bus right now.
Nice. The owner, it's like a city bus. That was kind of a joke in there, right? But hopefully it's one that you have control over where it goes.
Oh, yeah, it's not going anywhere. Not unless I want to do major work to the brakes. I'm pretty sure the engine will go. That won't be a problem. But
not like it's been a while. It's just been parked. And
yeah, it did a big tour of Australia, this bus.
Nice. Oh, wait,
And
was it yours when it toured, or somebody else toured it and then you acquired it?
somebody else toured it, and they must have had a good time. There must have been a couple of party boys, because all along the roof,
Uh-huh.
people who have come here and partied have got a texter out and written messages. So I've got this great big messages, and
Oh, so they kind of like put a Sharpie or something and just like on the ceiling and all this?
Yep, they've graffitied the whole woman's side of the ceiling. Yeah.
Interesting. For a good time call.
Yeah. Yeah, there's email addresses and all sorts.
I wonder if anybody ever called. I remember in school, guys would write, some guy's phone number or something for a good time call. And
Yeah.
you'd see it written in the guy's restroom, Does anybody actually call that? Or I don't know. I wasn't involved in it at all. I just witnessed something. That's funny. That's neat though. You can did they put a date like 1983 or anything like that?
No, it was about 2010, I think. I did the tour.
Okay, Hapster. See you next time. So you're starting your show pretty soon, right? On the YouTube part and see if they've started. That's how I'll really know. I get mixed up. We have between 2 and 3 hours between Hawaii, depending what time of year. And the stupid daylight savings time nonsense. It helps nothing. Just throws us all off. What are you saving? Like, come on, adjust everything.
Nothing. Stupid. We've got 3 time zones in Australia, but when we have daylight saving, we have like 4 or 5.
See, we have a couple states that don't go on it: Hawaii, Arizona, and maybe Alaska. There is some sense in them states going on. It's just, gee, what's up with that? It's disorienting. That's the thing. I don't know if it helps anything else, but it's disorienting twice a year. 30, yeah. So I don't know, Echo, if I'm going to step off my driveway and see. You might have a hard time making the turn, honestly saying, if I can get my vehicles off of there, but depending when you're coming by, hey, let me know when you're going to come by. Email me when it's getting near time. If my place is set up right, you can come by and check it out at least. And if you want to do a collab, and because I'm thinking by the end of the year I'll have it. And I really want to have people physically come by and do collabs, and we can be with that nice backdrop, and then we can have this going too, and just, it's like a big cyber party basically, right? Except those online don't get to drink nothing. Bring your own. Hey, thanks for coming by, Nathan. I found you through the Hapsters, I think, right? Is that, or I found you through what's the guy's name?
Brett Glasso.
Glasso. Okay, I wanted to call it Glasgow the other day.
That's what I always thought his name was, but you just got to look at it properly and read it properly.
That's the thing. You get something in your head, and it's like Glasgow, and and then I didn't remember it until I saw it again today. I was looking, and he was up. Or, sometimes you're looking at a video on your screen, and over on the side they have all these perspective. This one's live, and then I go looking at a video, then I go, wait, is this almost over? I only into it a minute. Let me jump over and see this live and see what they have to say.
Oh, yeah.
I was encouraging him because he was talking about music. I said, you should make the Pacific Northwest Music Archive, because I want to make a music archive here in the Bay Area, and just start collecting records, CDs, cassette, and have a giant, in addition to my permaculture thing, just because I like listening to music, right? And for me, more than just for everybody in the world. But right type of thing. He said, you should do it for the Pacific Northwest. I said, the answer is just yes. Just say you want to do it and start collecting them and go from there. I try to encourage people, you know, it's just if they have that idea, they like that kind of music on a physical thing, then do something with it.
But you got to have the physical space to do it.
Well, at the beginning,
That's the problem.
in time you do, but maybe by then some opportunity will open up if you just keep saying, yes, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't, but if you say no, it never will for sure, right? That's the thing.
And then if you try and digitize anything like that, then you run into all the copyright bullshit.
That's the thing. I want to be a physical archive. I don't want to be digital because they've already got digital. But I want to be able to sit back and say, let's see, Willie Nelson from 1971, or 1973, but not just him. You know what I'm saying? Across the board, just whatever. And but the same thing with my permaculture archive. I want to have a physical permaculture archive. Some of these books are available at the Internet Archive, and you can download, say, for example, the Designer's Manual. You can download it and say there's a couple pages you want to print just for a little demonstration. Hey, check this out. Print a couple pages for your seminar or whatever. Or like, look, if they'd have done this, you change something up, and or you're not defacing a book you bought, right? Stuff like that. But I want to have the regular archive of the books and the magazines and the agroforestry news and all this. So say somebody do a seminar, or we have a week or 2 week, whatever PDC, partly associated or fully associated with this, then they can go in this. My media room will be also the library for the permaculture archive. So that type of thing too. And I thought, well, I might as well make it a music archive too, being I always wanted to have like a music library. So
yeah,
and,
well,
you know, it's coming out of my pocket anyway. So what that, you know.
Well, the only thing that can really erase a hard copy like that's a fire.
Yeah. So hopefully that don't happen. But and you know, I want to be able to have it all, you know, in order, not just random. What's in that pile? And so maybe I should get a computer specifically set up for the files of where the permaculture books are and the media files. You look, A1, this is such and such, you know, whatever on down the line. I don't think I'll do the Dewey Decimal System. I think that was kind of a lot of horse stuff. Probably alphabetical order or some other kind of, you know, we had to practice that and the card catalog and all this. What a waste of time. I don't, there was something to it, but it just doesn't resonate with me. So that type of thing, because if you have it and you can't find it, what the heck, you know? So all these things, there's many things associated that I like to do, and just depending on time and energies, like I always say, it's that. But I keep seeing records that people are giving away, and sometimes CDs or cassette tapes, or you know, so I'm going to get a multi stereo that can play all this stuff full time and go from there. But I'm waiting as soon as I get my media room set up. Maybe I'm thinking like, I don't know. I said to Brett, you know, I'll probably have like 50 million songs or something. I mean, I'm talking massive physical archive. Some point, maybe that can be its own entity. And where's the money and everything going to come from? I don't know. I'm just walking forward with the concept, like with the Pacific Permaculture Institute. Do I know all the details? No. But if I say no, that I can't do it, for sure I can't do it. So that's the thing. I'm trying to keep saying yes and see how it works and what I have to do to accomplish it all. Because now I have a space to start doing these things. Before, when you don't own it, like Brett, I think he's got an apartment. It's a little bit more difficult, right? But now I own a home, so I can instigate some things here. I don't want to talk your ear off here, Nathan. What do you want to say?
No, you're good, mate. You're good.
So yeah, that's just
Yeah,
my
I'm just.
enthusiasm, and I just kind of just trying to walk it forward. You know, maybe some point, if it doesn't, if the Pacific Permaculture Institute, put it this way, if it doesn't become like a registered nonprofit and it's just the concept, then I can say, hey, these plants, I'll trade you for this music or that type of thing. It's a little different if it's a set real entity, you know, on paper and all that. But if it isn't, or before it is, whatever, sometimes trade this for this other plant, or maybe I trade these plants for some music, and all
Co-op,
kind of going together, maybe.
co-ops are an interesting concept, though.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to start some cooperative ventures or help instigate them. And I wanted to do a security one. I couldn't find the guys that wanted to be the other partners in the co-op, basically, right? So.
Yep. And it's also a way of creating a business.
Oh, you mean like
actually,
say like a produce co-op or?
Yeah, well, the co-op becomes a business entity,
mm-hmm.
separate to you, if you know what I'm
saying. Yeah, so you're a part owner of the business.
Yeah, you're part owner of it. Yeah, it's like a business, but it's a co-op. Mm-hmm. There's quite a few of them in Hawaii, I take it, as well. Co-ops work operating.
I've heard there was one, I think, in Honolulu that about shut down because they're having for whatever reason, they're having a hard time making it. I think one of the big box, like a Whole Food or something like that, came in and just kind of undercut them where they couldn't make it. And
okay.
But there's potential. And again, even just like a buyer says, if it's a organic store, you order all this stuff. If you have enough people cooperating, just as a buyer's co-op, you could do a lot. But then somebody's got to manage it, of course. Now, are they going to have some other set, or are they going to get paid? Or now that can get complicated, I guess, until you get up to speed. But if you get enough people,
well, there's rules to it. You know, like you have to have, you know, monthly meetings and keep minutes of your meetings and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, of course. You have to have all that. Yeah. And it takes some people to keep that going. And I'm good at instigating ideas, I think, or trying to instigate ideas. But, yeah, there was one. Good night, Glenn. Thanks for coming by. And if I don't get a hold of you in the next few days, get a hold of me, email me, and leave me your address again. It might be in my inbox still. I'll check. But talk to you next time. And but yeah, just there's so many directions I could go with this. Just depend who wants to come and get involved. There was a one through UC Berkeley that was a students like buyers co-op for organic stuff, and I told them I'd volunteer. That oh, well, they tore a page out, like a loose leaf page. I said, okay, yeah, you tore that out so you could lose it. You know, I really said that to them and not call me or whatever. So, you know, I knew right off the bat where they're like thinking like, well, this guy didn't go to UC Berkeley, but I just wanted to help. And they basically didn't want my help, right? But they were suffering. They weren't doing anything because I guess the people that were going to college weren't cooking anything. You have all these onions that are regrowing in the bin, and you got a lot of like snack food, I guess people would come in and get, but they didn't have the right energy. You need somebody that's really into that, that's maybe not a student, to organize it and keep it going and all this maybe. It's, you know, I hate to say it, but it seems like all people are getting lazier. They want someone else to do all the work and just say they're a member. Like, oh, community garden, great. When's harvest time? I'll come by. You know, they don't want to be they built the soil and all and planting the crop. They just want to be the one, and maybe not even picking it. They just want to come pick it up at the farm stand and, oh, thanks. I love community gardening. You know, like they really did something. Hey, thanks for being a eater. We need a worker too. You know.
I didn't think community gardens worked like that. You got your own plot and you did your own thing.
Well, some do. It just depends. I was involved
Okay.
with one that there was like no rules. So guess what happened? It fell apart because there's no rules.
Yep.
You have to have structure. So like people say, oh, they don't want any police. There has to be some force that regulates society because everybody isn't nice and kind and everybody isn't benign. And what you're regulating is the bad parts of society and to protect the good people from the bad, basically, and the bad energies. And when you don't have that, it's going to go to heck in a second. So I know some police forces, you know, there's something wrong, but they're not all, everything about them isn't bad. There's a lot of good we get in society by having somebody regulate things, keep things in check. We don't want to go back to the Wild West here where we all got to have our house and our place always have to be, you know, get ready to be shooting somebody that comes on our steps on our property. That's not a good way to have to live. So
Oh no.
that's people are losing that point of like, hey, if you don't have some entity regulating things, it's going to be the Wild West here on the West Coast in a second. So, you know, I know that they maybe have a good intent, but they're way off the rails with that.
Yeah,
You know,
there's a storm brewing in America right now.
it'd be like saying there's one bad trucker in the terminal, no more truckers can come in. You know, that small percentage. Yeah, there's a few bad cops. You don't eliminate all of them because of that. Punish those that are doing wrong. Maybe you got to reform that police force in that city or whatever, but you don't get rid of them all. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's just stupid. Way back when people knew that. Okay, Echo. See you next time. Thanks for coming by. Any support's appreciated. Support the beard. You know, once I get to 10,000, I think I can afford to grow the beard back. Yeah, but yeah, just, you know, I honestly believe people have a good intent when they come up with things. Like California is known for a bunch of wingnut ideas, right? But I think people have good intent a lot of times, and they don't foresee the other consequences. And then we get in a mess because you need to think things through, think about all sides, think about the downside, the slippery slope. And maybe there's a reason that billionaire is helping you with this idea because it's going to help him too more than you. Or don't jump and just throw everything away and try to start over. That's work from where we're at to make things better. There's reasons for things that you haven't thought of sometimes because you're young and are not experienced and you've only been going to college ditzing around. You haven't been out in the world and that type of thing. So I think a lot of that happens, unfortunately. So we have to just right the ship and do better. And, you know, build soil and grow and share food. That's, we can turn this ship around for the better just doing those things. Don't spread hate, spread food, good soil.
Yeah, it needs to be an agricultural revolution for sure.
You know, hating each other for what genetics you have is ridiculous. Don't hate me because I'm light complected. I didn't do anything to exploit anybody. My relatives weren't here when a lot of exploitation happened. And you know what? Even if they were, it wasn't me. Okay? If there's something wrong with the system, reform it. Don't hate people because of what they look like. Get to know people.
Hate the game, don't hate the player.
You know? Get to know your neighbors. You know, maybe they're a different background than you are, but they might be the best people around. And most people in society aren't even paying attention to all the bull. That's the funny thing. So the certain few people are out there raising heck, tearing things up, and the guys of saying they're doing something good, and everybody else just going to work and trying to feed their family and make do what they could in the world, and get along with people.
Yeah, we're really multicultural here where I live.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We pretty much are in the Bay Area. I mean, it's a melting pot here. It's
Yeah.
more than like the East Coast for sure. What I understand, I hear New York is really a big melting pot. Though. The more you get exposed to different things, I realize it's good, and I think that's why the Bay Area is kind of a center of innovation, because you get different ideas from different cultures and different levels of people where they're at and things, and they combine them and make something better sometimes and something good. And confluence of ideas. What time do you have there? You're in Sydney?
No, I'm in Darwin.
Darwin. You said that the other day, probably. Darwin. Is that at the north end?
Yep, the very, very top in the center.
Is the motto of the town the city survival of the fittest? That's a joke, of course.
No. It's tough at the top though.
What did they call that? It's like a
Misnomer.
interpretation of nature somehow. It's like nature doesn't necessarily work that way. To some degree it does, but it's kind of, things have to work. This thing has to eat that has to eat that, it's not all everybody competing in the same way they want us to. I can't think of the term they use. They have all these fancy terms that when I'm really well rested, I can think of and spit them out. But. So how is it there? You guys are locked down and everything like us, huh?
No, we never got locked down at all. See, this where I live, the Northern Territory, we're like bigger than Texas, and our population is 230,000.
Wow.
We had 34 cases total.
So that's a very small population, you're saying, for the amount of area.
Yeah.
Sounds very small.
Darwin itself is only like 150,000 people.
I don't know the size of the Bay Area compared to Texas, but there's 6 million people here. Oh, it feels crowded.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's just because a lot since I was a kid, but it just feels like we're so strained for space and everything. And one small percentage of people dropping a gum wrapper just makes so much pollution, and it's just like, it seems like.
Yeah. This place is basically deserted, right, compared to the rest of the east coast of Australia.
Wow. Great. How did you land there? Did you retire to there, or do you have some kind of business going there?
No, I've been here since 1985. So I was born and grew up in New Zealand and worked building gas pipelines. So we put a whole heap of gas.
You're building gas lines?
Yeah, building gas lines. So we come over for the Darwin to Alice Springs pipeline and never left.
Oh, you got a good.
My old man, my man went to the auction, and even having no experience whatever in this field, he went out and brought an ex-Water Resources drilling rig, and we started drilling water bores.
Water wells.
That's how. Water wells. That's how I come to be here.
Oh, cool. And you made a living out of that, huh?
Made a living out of drilling water bores. Yep.
Wow. The right person. He was made for the moment, so to speak. Huh?
Yeah. I don't do water bores anymore. Still licensed to do water bores, but I don't have any equipment anymore.
Are you retired?
I'm driving trucks at the moment.
Oh, okay. You're making it happen where you can stay where you like. That's amazing.
Well, I've got a missus and a couple of properties in the Philippines.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. And also, I actually recently bought a house in Australia as well, but because of this lockdown, I haven't actually got there yet.
I've never been to the Philippines, but I like tropical. and I'm thinking, wow, it's so dirt cheap. I bet I could. Although, I'm starting down the path, this Permaculture Institute and all this stuff I've said. At the same time, my brain's going, I could rent out that house or enough of it, probably live good in the Philippines, and once in a while come back.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, what do I do? Do I keep working a couple days a week here? Do I just go, off on a plane? And there's things that want to keep me here too, socially and everything. But it's like, it's tempting. Just go, wait a minute, I could probably live a lot better life without working at all.
Things aren't so rosy in the Philippines as what you'd think. Things aren't as cheap as what everybody makes it out to be. That's the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and then I'm sure culturally it's so different. I'm sure that it's like, I'm not going to just drop everything and go, I don't care where it is. This is so great and it's so cheap. And I'm not dropping every penny I got on it, and I'm not giving up everything I got here, because if I ever leave California, say if I cleared everything out for money and left California, I will never be able to afford to come back. And I grew up here. So
That's right.
it's going to be my fallback spot, because my relatives way back when came from Europe. I did not. Okay, so there's no place. I grew up here. There's no place for me to run back to, unlike those that came from forever, right? So I don't have a fallback. This is my fallback place.
You know what? If I was an American, I'd be looking at Mexico.
Oh, they got so much nasty shit going on down there from what I hear. No, I've never been there. No intention of ever.
Yeah, but that's only in certain areas they got nasty shit going on. There's other areas of Mexico that are pretty benign, I think.
Yeah, that's what they say. I'm not so trusting.
Yeah. But that's the same thing in the Philippines, right? There's places in the Philippines that you don't want to go either.
Maybe, probably. Well, like here too. There's places
not probably, definitely.
Oh, okay. But I mean, there's places here too, all through these states that you don't want to go there.
Yep.
But I don't know. It bears thought, and it bears a lot of things. And there's been people saying this Oaxaca area is so great, and this and that. I just don't
Ecuador.
I don't leap so easy. Okay, that's just.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's things they're not saying. Probably a lot they're not saying, because they're, this is good, that's good, that from their perspective, it's all rainbows and this and that, and I might get there and go, damn it, there's one little rainbow and the rest of this is a pile of crud.
Oh yeah, Philippines has got problems for sure.
Right.
It's got issues.
Somebody tell me there's all this permaculture stuff going on in Hawaii, and this is several years ago. I think it was like 2013. And it was improved, but by the way this guy proclaimed it, you'd have thought 90% of the island was just everything's regenerative. It was better than it had been, but it wasn't great guns like this guy was trying to say. So it just keep that. I keep that as perspective that, hey, one person's perspective could be way off from what's, from what someone outsider looks at it and go, okay, you got a few plants growing there in a planter that are edible. So what else you got? Oh, nothing, So I kind of take it with a grain of salt and say, oh, you got all this. Yeah, okay, sure.
Wow, it's like the Raptors said.
Alone. No. Okay, well, I'm going, thanks.
when they quit there, they're leaving.
When they quit,
too expensive to be in Hawaii.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Even the Hawaiians are leaving.
If you live the right way, you can make it, which is on a much lower level than most Americans want to live. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And
but actually, when you're talking about if you sold up, you could never come back and buy what you brought. That's the big rip-off in this world. The land. the price of land hasn't kept up with the wages, and the land is not counted in the consumer price index like it should be. If our wages had kept up with the price of land here, right, the average wage would be like $5,000 a week in your hand.
Yeah, see, it'd be no big deal.
It's no big deal then, right? You know?
Also, realistically, why is the exchange rate so much different anywhere? Why isn't it within, say, for example, you go to the Philippines and maybe it's 10 to 1, but 50 something to 1 on the dollar?
Yep.
How could my labor be worth that much more? Theirs worth so much less for the same kind of labor? It doesn't make sense. Except for to those big money makers.
If you want absolute proof that we're being totally manipulated and screwed, hemp's illegal.
Yeah, they're legalizing it here now. To some degree, it's just coming on.
We're not talking about smoking marijuana. I'm talking about industrial hemp. Industrial hemp has been illegal. That's right. Industrial hemp is still illegal in Australia. It's illegal virtually worldwide.
Right,
that
but
is absolute proof that we're being screwed and manipulated.
Yeah, well, there's a lot they could do with it, and you don't need all the chemical companies, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's total absolute proof.
California or across the U.S. that it's becoming more legal to grow, and I don't know the exact. Obviously, I don't know all the details. But I read where it was coming more legal to grow it here and deal with it. But yeah. I'm sure it's very restricted and very because they found out. Wait a minute. You could do all that with this, or we could make a bunch of money over here, here, and here. They want to make all the money. They don't want to have that. But also,
they don't want hemp to come along and crash their oil economy. You kidding me?
But as the people that buy stuff, what we could do is withdraw our support. I mean, that's not 100% be all end all, but it does have an impact. Withdrawing some of our support.
Oh, there's two things that could save this planet. It's bamboo and hemp.
Bamboo is a good thing too. Sucks up a lot of CO2, and you can do a lot with it.
Yep.
And I was in the Bamboo Society, but I didn't grow that much. And then the meetings kind of fell off in this area. Give it up. There's too many. You can only be involved in so many different things at once and all that, like everything else. But bamboo is a very good thing.
Yeah.
You just got back and use a lot more bamboo and hemp, like you say. And you know what? At the consumer level, we can start impacting it by saying, "Hey, I want this out of hemp. I want some more things out of bamboo." There's other things too. I mean, you can have they have these benches they make out of willow, and just start cultivating more industry for more natural-based products. Now, how to get people up to that when they're used to it? There's a dollar store. I can get 2 carts of stuff for $20 or whatever. Then it's hard because of course, people want to get the most they can out of the little bit of money they make, and you can get crazy with all the challenges with it, right? But I started buying organic in 97, 98, I think, 97. And I made a commitment that I'm going to support organic. Now, I'm not saying I was the healthiest eater and all this all the time. I wasn't. But I had a ethic and at heart that I wanted to support that. And I won't say it was ever cheap. But you know what? It freed me from having to worry about bitching about the price of something being high, because everything's higher organic. So at that point, you just kind of go, okay, well, I've committed to it. And that way it's easier. But you do give up other things. You can't have everything unless you have just a phenomenal income. And I didn't. So and people heckled me for it all these years, of course. it's just it's difficult. But if we work together with our communities where we live, it'd be a lot easier. Have a whole area growing food cuts the cost, or at least you have more healthy food for the price, even if it's not cheaper. Even if you had to buy the soil and everything, it's not cheaper. You're gonna get healthier food. Just you can tell by the flavor it's better, right? So just everything we could do to not be a part of the exploitation, I think is helping turn the ship around.
Yeah, well, I think this next year is going to play out in some very interesting ways. There's a storm brewing in America. There's a whole shitload of people becoming ineligible for the unemployment payments.
Yeah. So in other words, we got economic tidal wave going to crash down on us big time.
Oh yeah, big time. You know, and hopefully out of all of it, we might come out with a better system.
Maybe. And I'm hoping.
Maybe not.
I just keep telling people the solution. You know, hey, grow soil, build soil, but really, before that, even though it's not the exact right order, start growing something now. Build up the soil as you go, but don't wait to build the soil and in a year from now try to grow something. That's kind of my point. Start growing something.
Well,
Start building up the soil.
that's where weeds come in. Weeds will build your soil up.
Well, that's true too. If you're using them wrong.
That's right.
That's true. But to get the average person, on the street to get all that right away, not going to happen, I believe. So I'm just saying, hey, grow what you can, build up the soil. 2 years from now, a lot of people know better about it than they ever thought they would know right now. But if you get them started growing anything, you know, it might not keep them from starvation, but if they can eat a little bit better for a couple days and feel the flavor of that homegrown thing, like the following year, even if they're just struggling along, they're going to want to grow more just because of the flavor, if nothing else. Like, well, I'm suffering, but hey, I got a couple of these things that tasted really good. Let me grow some more of them, and at least feel not as bad struggling. I can't say I can turn around everybody's economics, but if everybody can eat better, that's a key, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's really all I can offer is to try to tell people, hey, start growing something, whatever it is. Grow a fruit, I say grow an onion or two. Grow two, share one. Then you start building community. You know, and we're not going to get Ron is not going to pull us out of this. It's me spreading ideas to this one, to that one, to the next one, and them all spreading it and building this web back together. It's going to get us out of it. Build more community. And then we'll just, at some point, we got to realize our choices dictate a lot. You know? Cuba went through the special period. I used to have a video on it where they called the special period where they started getting subsidies from Russia. Yep. So they had to knuckle down and start saying, hey, we're going to grow food. People that were doctors, whatever, we're going to live better because we're tired of starving, waiting for the government, this, that, the other. Many reasons, right? What I'm saying. And this guy's growing rabbits. This guy's doing chickens. This guy is just salad greens, whatever, right? So whatever their ability and the resource base they can tie into and get it going. And they're like, at some point, they're like 80% organic. I don't know if they still are, but a few years ago, I read that and seen a video on it. We can do that here. Doesn't mean it's going to be pretty, but we can live better if we're growing more close to home. It could be a lot less pretty if we don't. So that's the thing. Oh, is that the answer? No, it's not. But
the ugly thing is the volume of people. It's the volume of people in these cities. That's the big headache.
Yeah, that don't want to. See, even in a city, you
Well,
can grow some food.
then
Now, I'm not
yeah,
saying
but the
for your whole diet, you can grow something.
yeah they grow something, but there's no way that they could sustain themselves in that environment
Right,
without great big inputs from outside
right.
from commercial agriculture.
But here's
That's the headache.
that's
Everybody needs to head for the hills, basically, get out of the city.
true, but that's basically, I doubt that's going to happen. If it does too quick, it's chaos.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you know what? Start where we're at. That's my point. Start where you're at. You're not growing nothing, grow something. It's not going to totally bail you out. I'll be honest. It's not going to totally bail you out for next year. But you're going to be better off than not growing nothing, like 90% or so of the people are now in the cities.
I'm working
Everybody
on
can
it,
grow,
I'm telling you. I'm working
you know,
on it.
and
Well, I'm not working on it, my workers are. I got
everybody can do a little bit, and then it's going to add up. And
I've got 3 people employed at the moment in the
Really?
Philippines. Yeah.
And you're growing food?
Well, we're building a fence right at the moment. I'll be buying a rotary hoe anytime real soon, and we're putting in a crop of maize.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also,
So we're
to look into crops
planting.
that are not your mainstream, because if a horde of people come and it doesn't look like a regular tomato or bell pepper or something they're used to seeing, they're going to walk right by it.
Yeah.
That's something about permaculture they mention sometimes too. It's like, hey, you want to have some things the average person doesn't recognize, so that you're eating this thing and well, what's he been eating? Oh, well, hey, I got a couple tomatoes left if you want them. And they go.
Yep. Yeah, we've probably got a whole hectare of hillside to plant out and fruit trees.
Wow.
We got 3 hectares there. It's got a creek running through it, and at the top there's the main irrigation channel runs through our property for the district. It's a new project. They sort of haven't got it up and running properly yet, but
Nice.
yeah, it's going good.
I want to look into getting some native. There's some that are, have human edible things, and put a native area kind of. Great.
Yes.
Because then it's going to grow well, and then, like I say, that a lot of people won't know it's edible, and I will. Like I say, I'm not going to be able to grow my whole diet. There's no way. I don't have time to do it. There's many reasons. But I'm going to grow some things, and I'll be better off than not growing them some things, I'm sure. And I will grow some things that are unusual, just in case somebody looks, heck is that? That's not food, and I'll probably be eating it, and they'll be running by. There's no candy bar on this one, I even knew a guy, we had this community garden, like I was saying, with no rules. And I wasn't the lead, so otherwise there would have been some rules. But just come when you want, do a bunch of work, and then whoever wants comes and harvest, which doesn't always work out. They planted a bunch of pumpkins. They had kind of a pumpkin area, right, one year, and then somebody mass harvested because there's no rules. Just came in with a truck and harvested all they wanted, the pumpkin patch. It was a comical way to find out that, we need some rules, right?
Yeah.
Just if anything goes, it may not be good always. Not for everybody anyway. For the guy getting the free pumpkins, it was pretty good. But I would imagine somebody resold them or shared them with a family and had a good time getting them pumpkins they didn't have to grow, right? But but that was one thing. But a guy that came there, I learned a lot. He's an herbalist, and he'd help out here and there. And he said there's some homeless, and he tried to tell them, hey, look, there's this plant, there's that plant. He said he couldn't encourage them to pick anything around them or try to investigate something that could grow because they were so tied into the system. They just want money.
Yeah. Well,
Really. So you can't help people that don't want help. And that's just the way it is. If they're going to starve, well, so be it. You got to want help to get it. If it's right there and you don't want it, what are you going to do?
If they're stupid enough to be homeless, well, I don't think they've got much hope of picking up too many ideas.
So it's, he was like, well, look, there's this growing. And he was trying to educate the people who didn't want to be educated, right? They wanted to be back stuck in the system at their level or whatever and get money to go buy food at the mini mart or wherever, I guess. And
if I was in San Francisco and I had a job and the COVID came along, or the downturn came along and I lost my job and I couldn't afford my blooming accommodation, mate, I'd leave town for blooming South Dakota or something and go and get myself on a farm somewhere.
Yeah, you'd think you'd want to take what's left of your resources and try to get the most out of it, right?
Yeah.
What always amazed me is you see people that don't even have like a regular blanket. You mean they didn't know when they got down there, like last $2,000, like, let me get a big parka, let me get some clothes that keep me really warm, and a nice sleeping bag and a nice tent. Or did they get it stolen? Or I'm not sure how that went, but it struck me. 30 years ago, I thought, well, if I get down to my last and I think I'm going to be homeless, here's what I'm thinking to do. Get some stuff that's going to keep me warm. And California doesn't always get cold, so you got a lot of warm months, but there are times and places where it's really cold. But I've always thought that you get down to your last couple grand and you're pretty sure you're not going to be able to pull out. Maybe you should invest in things that'll keep you okay. That's always kind of been my take. And how do they not know that they're, I'm not advocating it, but say you got a credit card and you're out of money, you're out of cash, but you still got credit. Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
Thing up and worry about it whenever you get home again or whatever.
No, even better. What you do is you max your credit card out and then you just disappear off the radar and don't even worry about it.
Right?
Just never pay it.
Basically, they fall out of the system when they're home. They don't have a phone, don't have an address, don't have and that's the thing I'm trying to get back in is they don't have an address, they don't have all these. So but now if I'm on my way to being homeless, and look, I even know a guy that I worked with that lost his house. And I said, you know what, dude, if you got to sleep in a tent in the backyard and rent out the house to keep from losing it, do it. Because I didn't even own a house, and I'm thinking it's so hard to get a house to own that hang on to it, whatever you got to do. Later, things will get brighter. If you got bills you got to pay off, rent that house out, pay. Live like a peasant in your own backyard, like a homeless in your own backyard until you can afford to kick them people out and live back in your house again or whatever. There's it's better than not owning anything where that's where he got to. Not owning anything. It didn't make sense to me. Apparently he owned it outright at one point, and I don't know what happened. If he's taking out loans, doing something stupid or exactly or what. But I'm like, don't lose your house. You have a house, don't lose it. Do whatever you can to avoid, because apparently he inherited it from his parents, so I'm not sure. Okay. But it's like, hey, I have a house now. I'm going to do whatever I can to not lose it. If I have to rent out, like I just said, sleep in my car in the backyard behind the house, I'll do that. Because it's too hard to get it to want to lose it, and then you got to start from zero. He's paying more in rent now than he was making on his house payment. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
No sense. He's paying more than if he just kept the house and been making the house payment. If you can pay more, pay it on the house payment, rent a room or two, or however you got to break it up to. People do their own weird method of losing things, but I don't want to be in that position if I can avoid it. And if I have to go sooner into a van or a car or something to avoid it, I'll do it at this point because I don't want to lose that thing. My parents worked too hard and sacrificed to get that house and all that. And if not just for my own benefit of having a house, then for the idea of they worked too hard to have that house to have it get lost. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I don't owe any money.
you know, it happens, and it's a mess because jobs are going away. Jobs that are there don't pay very much. Things are way out of whack compared to what people are making.
Oh,
It's a
you
bad
think it's bad now? You give it 6 months and we'll be talking about it.
Here's the thing that I noticed about the last month. Here, the stimuluses started running out, like the unemployment stimulus and stuff. So in about a month ago, in the last few weeks or a month ago, all of a sudden, you know, you didn't see too many signs. This car for sale, that I guess they're selling them online, not putting a sign. Boom! I see motorcycles, cars.
Yep.
In a neighboring city that are just all over the place. There's cars for sale now. They're getting rid of them cars to try to hold on, right? And they don't care if it's online. The guy next door wants to buy it, whatever, right? So, yeah, wait 6 months. I told somebody that, hey, if you got the money, save your money. Whatever you want is going to be cheaper in the next year.
Yep.
I was looking at an old car. I want to get some kind of an old time just because I like old cars, kind of. I wasn't sure set on one kind, but I was looking and somewhere, I don't know, 10,000, whatever, and good. And I thought, you know what? It's good to look, but why do I want to buy it now? A year from now, assuming I'm eating okay and I can afford it, I'll get one then. I can probably name my price. So get a lot better car price for the money then. Assuming I can't. Yeah, I have the money and that. And if I don't, well, it's a moot point. But everything's going to be for sale as people downsize. I hear a lot of people are probably moving in with relatives. The rental market's changed for sure. UC Berkeley, which is right here, had like 42,000 students that don't have to show up on campus anymore. Very few of them probably ever have to show up on it anymore. They can type from wherever they're at. That's going to change the rental market in the Bay Area right there big time. Just that campus alone. And there's all kind of good colleges around here. So
good. Yeah, San Francisco, from what I can tell, is super inflated.
Yeah, and the East Bay, Berkeley, the East Bay, is inflated because of that. And it just, I mean, people had to interview to get an apartment or a house to rent. And so where like you miss your appointment by a minute or something, that's it. The next guy goes. You know, and it was really like I experienced this with a relative. Went there, and it was like an interview. You had to interview for a place because there's so many people that were trying to get them that it was just insane. So now it's going to bring some sanity back. The bad thing is I'm going to try to rent a couple of rooms, and how do I get the right people that want to pay a decent amount? I'm not going to try to charge the highest, but to help me get by better. And all this, but a lot of it, there's a lot of good coming by deflating some of the pressure on the housing market. I think because I mean it was insane. Right, you had to find it right away, and 200 people or whatever waiting to interview for that apartment or house. It was insane, totally insane. We'll see moving forward how we're going to get the economy on even. Because I have a niece that's going to San Diego. I don't know if it's state or university or what, but she's in Benicia in the Bay Area. She's not going to San Diego. She's typing to San Diego.
Yep.
So I was telling my sister, I says, well, you know how much it changes? Because I looked online how many students were at UC Berkeley just because I was curious. I says, you know how that's going to change the rental market in the Bay Area, though? And I hope we find some way to recover from the loss of the money. Because them students coming in, look, they go to all these little stores and whatever they do is generate income in the Bay Area or keep it in the Bay Area, right? So I had to like highlight that it's changed a lot of things. It's not just changing that person doesn't have to go. Now all of a sudden, all that pot of money isn't coming into these cities. or is it going to be to the degree? So don't know. It's gonna be a lot different for sure than it has been. Trying to hang on, do something good. I know I'm not going to grow all my own food. I'm going to grow some. Gonna have to buy some. Gonna have to, whatever. Over time, if I can hang on in the next 5 years, I'll have this going good enough that it won't be as very much concern, but it's just at the beginning stages. And, that's why I'm not trying to grow all my own soil first. I'm buying it to get things started, and I hope the economy shifts to where we do okay and we're not all just like starving. And
I'll be planting a shitload of sweet potatoes if I was you.
Sweet potatoes are a good thing, and I do eat a lot of them, so that is a good crop.
Yeah, we in the Philippines we're always eating the leaves, sweet potato leaves.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize you can eat that. I like the purple ones, so I should start growing them like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
I homestead Aussie in Australia too, and I'm like Nathan here. You want to come up on the panel? I don't see the haps that they've started their thing. I want to jump over there maybe, but I don't see anything. Because I can open many windows on this, and maybe they change their mind. Sometimes I'm just wondering if it's my computer, because I can get on another window. No, it doesn't look like. Maybe they change their mind or whatever. But yeah, good day. Homestead Austin. It's Lynn and Wayne, correct? Right here, it's 9:50 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. What time did I get on?
Okay.
For 2 hours ago. Wow.
Not too late.
Longer than I thought it'd be. What time is it there, by the way? You probably told me already.
It's 2:20 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Huh, 2:30. Wow, what a difference. 7 hours and something. Wow.
Yeah. So where's your homestead? Homestead Australia?
That's what's neat here too, is that people sometimes from the same region or at least the same country will be like, hey, where you at? And they hadn't encountered each other until they get on a live stream or something.
Yep.
I've met some cool people through here, like Maui Food Forest Permaculture's up in, well, he's on the west coast, but he's in Canada. He's, I think, Victoria Island or something, or Vancouver, maybe it's Vancouver. I forget. It's up on the west coast of Canada.
Okay. It's a Mexican. I'm in Darwin. We jokingly call the Victorians Mexicans. They come from south of the border.
Oh. See, you tell me about another country. I don't know any of the regions. Like Canada, yeah, it's close to us. I don't have a clue what region's what. I know the west coast of the U.S. kind of. The rest, no. Oh, that's like Alaska. Okay, it's all Alaska, but it could be 8-hour drive from the other part or more. Yeah, and sometimes I regard all of South America, what's not here, but in Mexico, really, it's in North America. So it's this weird.
Oh, you see, my philosophy is, right, never move anywhere past the Tropic of Cancer or Capricorn. All right? So that actually cuts out America altogether.
Oh, because you're in more tropical, right?
Yeah.
Tropical.
So the Tropic of Capricorn is like Alice Springs, Rockhampton, and then the Tropic of Cancer is just below Florida.
Mhm.
Yeah, so basically from Florida to halfway down Australia is the zone you want to be in.
Sounds cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
need to be cool in temperature. I don't like the cold, so
Yeah.
I
Well, we never get cold here. It's just hot and hotter.
yeah. I know what the hamsters are saying about it's expensive in Hawaii. If I could live there at all someday, I want to live there. So it's expensive. You got to do other things and not just rely on a couple bucks and trade this, do that. If I think that I can someday, if I got to live in a container, I'll probably end up living there.
Yeah.
It just I
Yeah,
like the climate. The people are nice. Yeah, everybody's not, of course. Where is everybody nice in the world? Probably nowhere. Maybe heaven, if you ever get there. And that's not really in the world, right? But no, I'm on a different bent. I know when people are saying, "Oh, we'll retire out of here." They want to do better with, but you're not going to have. It's not the same. You can do better in some ways and worse in other ways. So depends what you want. If I had if I had some kind of retirement, so many thousand a month, and I could just go to Hawaii I would just go to Hawaii. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
It's the tropical food, it's the aloha spirit, it's the weather, I have kind of a simple life. I don't need to compete with the Joneses or the Smiths or the whatever, right? I'm not competing with nobody. And maybe on a very minor level, right? We all do, I guess, to some minor degree, but don't need the top, brand new everything. No. I could live if I could make it with a simple life, get all my needs met and had enough money, I would do it right now. I thought I could do it right now.
I reckon if I was in America, I'd either be in Florida or Texas.
Yeah. So, being from California, I'm real leery to leave too. That's the thing. I don't, maybe things improve and then I want to come back and can't afford it, So, like you said, you're out of whack.
Yeah.
Especially because my house is on the street I grew up on. My parents moved into it a few months before I was born. My dad was born in a house that no longer exists down the street, maybe a quarter mile away. He wasn't born he was literally born in a house. Little house it was in. My grandparents lived in one house that's now a barn for 50 years, from the 30s until the 80s. And then my dad built them a house on the same street. And, there's something about connection.
Yeah, I don't have that.
So other than that, Hawaii is wonderful. I don't have that there, but if it just meant I could have less stuff, but I could get everything else taken care of, no problem. I don't need all the fancy, I can't go to the fancy museum or some kind of glitzy thing. I can give that glitzy kind of crap up and just have a good life. It just meant that. So I don't know. Someday I'd like to. And I'm thinking, should I get property there? I don't know. The property tax I heard of went up for people that aren't really a resident, and I have to look deeper into it. And when this Corona came up, and I'd like to have a couple acres and just have a little something where I could live there for part of the year and grow some nice things, and just go and chillax and. Be wonderful to retire there. Like if I could put a place on somebody's farm where I do something to like manage volunteers, whatever, and then have enough income from something else that I just Can live okay. Cool. Like a part-time gig. But if you just have to come out with say in Oahu, I'm sure it costs serious bank because especially if you're living in a condo like the house, it's all money just going out. So I wouldn't probably be able to live there that way. But teach his own. We've all got our own thing too, so I don't want to be too critical. I'm just saying what I would be willing to do more different type of things maybe to live there. And I don't know because I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. But I like the idea that I could just drop it and be gone there.
Yeah, that's my problem. I've got too many possessions.
Yeah, I just got too many things going on. It seems like I always got all kinds of different things, every direction going on, but that's me. The possessions aren't as big as the other connections, I think. Over time, they will be, though. Eventually, they will be.
Yeah.
So maybe
I'd
my solution will be just eventually get a house on the Big Island and just be part-time in each one, maybe. You got issues too, though. If you grow food in Hawaii, because you got this rat lung disease, and you got to really wash things, and but it's all a lot of it has to do with controlling the snails too, because they transfer it. And what I understand, so.
What disease is that? Is it
Rat lung
Schistomatis
disease.
or?
Rat
That's another
lungworm
one.
disease.
Okay. Is it like a
Parasitic infection.
Okay. Schistomatis or Cisco?
Maybe.
Yeah, the Japanese brought it to the Philippines, and it's all through the rice fields, though. And people catch it. Yeah.
But I know they call it rat lung, but it's rat lungworm disease. And apparently the snails carry it too because they'll eat the rodent waste and all this crazy.
Okay.
So I was telling the guy that was there, I'm like, if you can figure out a way to really knock back the snail and slug traps and stuff, I mean, people in Hawaii will beat a path to your door probably because you can beat this thing way back probably. He was, he didn't, but anyway, there were so many challenges. He's from like Wisconsin, went back, but people don't realize all the challenges, right? So if you're living close to the land, then you got to deal with that too. And I don't know, I have ideas I'd like to live there, but there's all those challenges plus the financial challenges. And the other thing is you got to try to integrate into society. People don't understand. You don't just pick up and move somewhere and not try to, like a plant. You got to let that thing root in and get used to the soil and everything and integrate into the place. It's not just you put anything anywhere and it does okay.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you got it pretty much worked out anyway, where you're at already. So
yeah, I don't owe anything on the house. I own it free and clear. So
yep, that's it.
Something to be said for that. And I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, man, that's it. I own all our properties free and clear.
And I mean, I didn't plan it. It just happened that way. And thank God they looked out for me and left me that. And, or the option to get that, right? So anyway, I got that. And if I can, I'm thinking to try to get a couple rooms rented and then I can have the rest of it to do my thing. My media room is lockable. And then I'll have the meeting space that I'm going to have kind of a little bit separate. And I'll have my master bedroom will be separate, which will be mine. And then there's 3 other rooms, 3 other bedrooms and a bath. And then I'll share the kitchen with them, with whoever. I'll try to get the right people. But if I'm there, it sounds, I'll know if anything's starting to go too haywire and do all this other good stuff. and work, work when I have
Wow.
to and everything, and just try to keep it all together and build things up better. That's it. It doesn't sound good the way things are going, though, like you say, economically and everything in the future. But instead of just
Oh
sitting
yeah,
and worrying, I'm just doing right. That's
it's gonna take a few years for this to unravel.
yeah. And people are saying, "Oh, well, some of my work was at cruise ships. We do screening. Oh, it's going to be back next year. It's
Yeah.
not. Maybe it'll be 3 or 4 years. I don't know. I don't think it'll be next
Oh.
year. People are ready to jump on a cruise ship. There's a big fear factor.
I think cruise ships are basically dead now.
Yeah, but you know what? If they don't restart some of it, the industry will totally die. So
Yep,
they have to
for
kind
sure.
of start, but it's not going to be going great guns like it was. Even if it does in 5 or 6 years, it won't be there at first. So it's going to be a changed world for a while. And at what degree and how long, I don't know. A lot of good things came out, though. I mean, honestly, out of this, I like that people give me space in the market. I didn't like it when I could feel somebody's breath on the back of my neck. I want to turn around and sock them. I'm being polite by not, but things like that. And then people like wash their hands once in a while and sanitize things that they should have been doing before. Regular flu and everything wouldn't have been so rampant if people had done that.
Exactly.
So there's some common sense is coming back to people through this. So I don't like having to wear the mask everywhere, but that's why I got rid of my beard kind of too. Is it looks very weird. And somebody at work even said kind of a rude comment, and I laughed, but it did make me think. And I've been looking in the mirror, and my beard was just kind of all. I thought, that does look awkward, and just as much as I'm kind of alternative, you got to get in with the society where you're at too, and that's part of it. And just, I don't want to alienate people when I can reach them and do better in the world. I want to reach them if I can, and alienate it by my beard, and then pretty soon that you can't make the web get together better. So that's the thing.
Yeah, if I need to wear a mask, I'm gonna have to lose my beard.
I would love to.
You know what?
Relatives, I'd like to grow it down to my ankles.
Yeah.
Grow my hair that long too, and that enough alienates people, right? It's down to just bone or something, right?
Yep. That's kind of good.
That alienates people enough. That and my kind of
Exactly.
alternative ways and my big giant brushy mustache, but the beard too is just like over the top. So we got to cut back a little bit.
Hey, do you know about Vermin Supreme?
What is that now?
Vermin Supreme.
What's that now?
Just Google it. Vermin Supreme.
Never heard of it.
He's a character, mate. He's a total character.
I was going to say, it sounds like somebody I used to work with.
I reckon you'll like him.
He's a YouTube?
Yeah, he's on YouTube, mate. Yep.
Because I'm on StreamYard, but then I've also got the YouTube channel open so I can type in. Look. I don't know what happened with the hamsters. They said they wanted to do it one, and who knows? But Vermin Supreme. Let's see this guy.
He's running for government.
The guy with the big hat looks like a boot on his head.
It is a boot, yeah.
Oh wow! That's how the mainstream people see me right now. They view me as the guy with a boot or the tinfoil hat, right? Or both. But he's don't call it a boot on his head; it's a tinfoil hat.
Yeah, Vermin for president.
That's funny. Vermin for that's good. I like that. Vermin for president. Does he have a sticker? I'll show you a sticker I got at the record store the other day. So-called record store, right? You might like this one. See that? Old school means real.
Yep.
I was like, oh, I can't resist that. I gotta get that sticker. Okay, Homestead Oz, have a good one. But yeah, I'll have to check him out. I got so many channels, and then when I get on live, of course, I burn up time. But tomorrow I gotta start making videos. I'm gonna do a painting my porch, and then I probably make a video out of that. Try to bang out enough videos to cover until Friday again, or close.
I copied one of Vermin's videos and put it on my channel.
How do you
You'll
do
see
that?
it there.
How do you do that? Do you save it to your I was trying to figure out how to do that with a channel just to see how to do it one day, and I just couldn't figure it out, or couldn't do it with my computer somehow.
There's an app called TubeMate. TubeMate. So you download that, and it will download YouTube for you.
Interesting.
Download things off Facebook, Vimeo, all sorts of things.
Interesting. Okay. So yeah, since I wasn't asking the right person, I was just trying to guess, thinking, is there a way? Because I've heard about people doing that, and I don't want to affect anybody's thing negatively, but say I want to do a shout out about somebody's thing, and I could just, look, here's part of his video, whatever. And
That's right. Yeah, I'll download things and put it in an edit program and chop pieces out of it. And
yeah, just get to the core.
that's right. Get to the core of things.
Or I guess if you want to be a jerk, put all the bad parts in, you know.
Yeah.
You know, Jeff
That's
Lott,
right.
here's the thing he didn't mean to say, you know, and whoever, right? Here's all this. Look at this guy. How dare you say? You know, put everything out of context, like the haters do. But yeah, well, that'd be interesting. I'm learning little by little, like how I found out about StreamYards. Because I've been to some Zoom meetings through this whole Corona thing, and
Yep.
I was talking to a guy, and I says, you know, it'd be neat if I could do like a Zoom meeting and have people on, and then record it for like YouTube. And he says, oh well, do StreamYard. Go to StreamYards. I'm like,
Well,
what?
you can use Zoom, but I think what you've got to do, you've got to have this thing called OBS
Okay.
and do it with a computer. You can't do it with a telephone.
I didn't necessarily mean Zoom itself. I just meant the concept of you can have all these people together, and you're right. So
Yep.
somebody told me StreamYard. I'm like, really?
Well, you
I
can
think
take
the second time I
Zoom.
mentioned it, and the person said like the second week or something, and then I looked into it, and wow, this is cool.
Yeah, well, you can take a Zoom stream with OBS and put it on YouTube live.
So what is OBS?
OBS, it's like a OBS Studio. It's sort of like something for live streamers to have all sorts of different content.
Okay. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
once I get,
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to learn every aspect right now, but that's cool. And once I
Yeah.
get my media area set up, I'm going to have some people come by, or if people come to learn something else, whatever, collaborate, teach me, like, hey, here's how, and write it out, how I would do this and how I would do that. And just get, like somebody said, for my camera, I need some kind of thing that buffers the wind noise. And I said, look, I have like this Instamatic camera I take the movies with, but once I get all this thing cooking, I'm going to get someone to just show me what peak components do I need and how to use them, and that to do these type of things.
yeah, I'm learning myself. I've got OBS on my laptop, but I still haven't worked out how to drive it properly yet.
And I'm going to order a better computer, I think, for there, to where like maybe like a gaming computer where it doesn't
Yeah,
lock
that's-
up. I'm doing a live stream.
That's my problem. I've only got a baby computer. It's only got like 1600 hertz, the processor.
There's a place in Washington that'll build them, and they don't have all the junk put on them. They just put on what you want.
Yep.
So it just keeps it real clean, I guess, and so it's not clogging up, probably wanting updates every 10 minutes or whatever. So I'm just going to have them put, if they'll do it, it's just for the editing program, it's just Windows Movie Maker. Because when I got this computer head on it, that's the easiest program in the world. The one I had from Sony was way harder than this to edit, and it didn't have as many features. And all I want is Windows Movie Maker on the computer and be able to do all these live stream. And then I'm going to get a big TV for like when I'm doing videos and stuff, for the put on the wall, and hopefully it works out where that works as a really nice for a live stream and everything. You see my big old backdrop mural and just whatever. Hopefully it'll work out the way I want. It probably won't, but I have a nice concept of how I want things to go. And set up nice. And then, like I say, all these things, like how to do the buffer the window, all the little technical things I didn't know about, I'll start learning about them. But then I want to do that too. Like if somebody wants to come by for a little workshop, even on that, because they want to do permaculture gardening or this kind of thing, whatever, have the workshop. Let several people learn about doing this stuff at the same time, maybe.
Yeah.
Or have
Chaz.
Somebody be by there, say, hey, here's what you do, explain to me, and have it on the video for future reference. Hi, Chaz. Thanks for coming by. You know what I found out? StreamYard will warn you when you're getting close to the limit for the month. They told me I had till like October 12th. I had like 7 or 8 hours to go before I hit the 20-hour limit. And I was in no danger because I was having the live stream on Saturday, and then the 12th was like on Tuesday or something. So I'm like, no big deal. I'm not going to go over. If this happens, then we'll do this. If this happens, if I would have got really close where I couldn't do a live stream without it, I would just done the live stream direct off of YouTube. So I'm going to try not to pay as long as I can. Then I just can't invite people up, and a lot of times people won't come up anyway. So it's just the way it is.
Well, a lot of people
in the next year, at least my YouTube experience, my channel's going to be better. I just made the watermark the other day out of my logo somehow. I figured out how to do it. And little things here and there. Yard will be better. That'll be better. If I can survive, and unless there's a rush on food, nothing's grown anywhere, and we're all starving, then I think I'll get through kind of okay. And just keep going forward. What else can we do?
That's it.
I don't want to be totally corona panic, where I don't want scared to go anywhere. I'm not going to live life in a box forever. I'm not the biggest traveler anyway, but Hawaii's going to be on the agenda. Do a couple things and just get out there.
Actually, Ron, I'm going to jump down, man.
Okay. No problem.
Yep.
I'm probably going to get this off pretty soon. It looks like I've been on here almost 3 hours. This is probably the longest
almost
one I've ever done. And I'm kind of running down the base gun. Thanks for coming by. And if you haven't already, email me with your... Oh, you didn't win anything. Sorry. Don't do that.
Yeah, you can.
You can if you want. Email me, but...
Yeah, actually, those gaming platforms are actually able to live stream too, like Chaz is saying. The PS4 and
I've seen they have videos of somebody playing a video game. It's kind of like, wow, really?
Yep, and live streaming it all at the same time.
Yeah, I don't quite understand all I know about that. I don't know why it's so entertaining, but I've watched some because I subscribe just to like, what's this crazy thing, and watch a little 5 or 10 minutes or something. That's people people sit here and watch this all the time? It's something I don't understand about sitting watching that all the time. But
I can't understand that either.
it's,
I can play games, but I couldn't sit there for hours watching someone play.
It doesn't
That's
seem
just
like it'd be
crazy.
very fun because you're just a spectator.
Exactly.
It's just some crazy movie, some animated movie, I guess.
Yep.
So I don't know whether PS4 and all that. I've never had a Wii, or I had a place I used to work that had like a Christmas party, and they said the one guy said, "Oh, they got Wii. They're giving away Wii," and I thought he said weed. I'm like, right? I'm going weed. It was loud and stuff. Weed. And I said, they're giving away weed? I said, no, weed, the game and all that. I had never heard of it. I'm not Mr. High Tech. I didn't even really know about YouTube much back then either. Anyway, little by little, I found this out and that out. I'm not the biggest, like somebody's talking about a gimbal. I don't even know gimbal. But, you know, maybe if this channel ever starts paying any money, I need a gimbal maybe. Until then, no, I don't need to spend the money. I might take on it.
I had a PS1 in the day, and I had a PS2, and then I stopped playing games.
Yeah, I never had any of that. I'm beyond that. You know, I was older than the video games kind of type of thing. So it's Pac-Man and stuff came out, and it was like a couple years behind me, and it wasn't that. I'm like, why the hell are people spending all day on this? I have the puzzle game, the block puzzle game on my phone. Just as a you kind of veg out, but. And I had Tetris one time on the phone. I had an LCD screen.
Yep.
Like 2003. And when I got up to 80 on my score, I decided I'm getting too hooked on this.
Yeah.
And stopped. But then lately I took on block puzzle. And one day I was messing around. I got 62,000 some score. That was my high score. But I'm not super hooked. I'm just like, sometimes I'm vegging out and I want to relax. And I just do that for a little bit. But the whole video, I'm lucky because I was older than the generation. I mean, they had Pong. My cousin had Pong. So his dad gave him a TV and bought a new TV because it would have burning on the screen playing Pong. It was kind of neat for a minute, but Pong wasn't very entertaining. I thought he sits here and plays this stupid thing all day. And went from there. I never got into it because my dad wasn't going to dedicate a TV for me to have a Atari or whatever. So, you know, it just wasn't available to me. '79. Yeah, see, I was still a teenager then. Dad wouldn't buy no extra TV if I could do that.
Wow.
And I just hit 55. So, yeah, you know what? Like I say, I'm blessed that it was that way because I would just be probably all the time playing something and I would never learn the things that I've learned. And my life wouldn't be as robust probably as it is today. So that's the thing. Yeah, I was thinking I wasn't even into weed, but I had long hair and everybody always accused me of it, right? But yeah, that was nice. I thought more people had come for the giveaway, but it's weird. I like this Furman Supreme you put me on too. Isn't it funny? Guy with a big old boot on his head.
Okay, Chaz, a bit older than me. I'm only 56.
Oh, 63. Well, you were one of the ones that played it anyway. But I just never got into it, so I never got into it type of thing. It's just, everybody's got their hobbies too. Like some people are way into TV. In the 90s, I canceled my cable, right? because I thought it was too expensive. It went from $13.26 to $14.28 a month. This is too expensive. So now, when I get my internet or whatever hooked up at a place, they're like, "Well, we'll get you a deal on cable." I said, "Look, I haven't had cable since the '90s. I don't need cable. Now I could look up something online anyway. It doesn't matter. Don't need it." To me, So when I get the TV, it's basically to use the screen for the computer. I probably never look up anything on cable. I have rabbit ears here. If I want to watch a TV once a year or something, I can pull in a couple of PBS stations.
Yeah. I stopped watching TV in 2006.
So basically, when I gave up my cable, I haven't watched a lot of TV since then. Because when you're only on rabbit ears, well, at some point I was hooked into somebody else's cable. I haven't paid for cable since then. Right? So they're letting me get their cable because right next to me. So, and it's a habit like anything. If you get away from it, it's just like you find something else to do with your time, whether it's take a nap or whatever you can do, wash your car, or I don't know, whatever you turn out to be a different hobby. I don't get as stressed. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of it too. I was getting too stressed about the news. So I didn't get as stressed about the news. A lot of times I don't even know the news. And it's fine. It's not affecting me as much as people are getting affected by thinking about something. Don't think about it. So with that, I should probably cut this loose. I got on at 7:30. It's 10:25 now. This will probably be my longest live stream. I still say though, save the beard. If you guys will get out there and give me 10,000 subscribers, I could probably let the beard come back. The beard has been punished by society off of my face. And so if I have 10,000, I'm pretty sure I'll be doing well enough. I don't have to intersect with stores all the time and wear the stupid mask and look really goofy with it. Wow. Physics degree. I remember all this Commodore 64 and all this. I didn't have it. I wasn't a computer person at all. Yeah. Wow. That takes me back thinking about that. I remember Commodore 64 and all that coming out. Physics degree. Wow. How did I draw your brainitude over here, Chaz? Wow. This is like people with degrees and stuff showing up. Wow. I was in 6th grade, I think.
77, I was in intermediate school, just before high school.
Okay, we didn't have that. We just had grammar school and high school. Some districts and areas had like the middle school and stuff, but
yeah,
we'd have like K through 8 and then high school usually. And then now they've ruined it. They got all these middle school and all this crazy. I don't know what to mean.
I don't think they have middle schools anymore now.
Here they do. It's really common here.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So I think they messed it up.
I think they messed it up too. Why would you isolate them 2 years when you're 11 and 12? Like that's some special area in your...
And the other thing is now there's too many graduations. You graduate grammar school, then middle school, and now they have graduation for a damn preschool. Give me a freaking break. You didn't accomplish nothing. You just went and listened to somebody a little bit. I mean, come on. It's, people, I don't know why they thought it was so great to do that, but it seemed to me and all my siblings went K through 8. went to high school. And what was wrong with it? I think it's great if you want to have more school administrators, because each school has to have their principal or whatever, and da 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 da. Bullshit. Give me a freaking break. Find a system that works already for so many years. Leave it that way. Just improve it. Don't just try to cheat, throw everything out, and start over with some other new stupid system. It's like they tried to shove metric system down our throat around then, and people kind of were taken aback to it. So one of the things they tried to change it were the gas pumps for all these liters and all this, and we're used to gallons. So what happened? The early adopters that got the gas pumps had everybody pounding them and bugging them and pestering them. How many gallons they're getting, to where it didn't work because everybody wasn't going for it. We weren't swallowing the bait.
Yeah, and what's even worse, a British gallon and an American gallon are two different things.
Is that crazy?
That's mental.
That's crazy. It's just to keep us thrown off as people, apparently. But we grew up with a standard system. I was already in 8th grade. I don't want to change now. Oh yeah, the other one's great. Okay, but I don't know it. I could tell you what 6 or 8 inches is probably without, or close, but so many centimeters. I ain't got a clue. Yeah, 10's great.
150 millimeters, 6 inch, 152.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went to school.
If you tell somebody, huh? Tell a woman, hey, I get 152 millimeters for it.
When I went to school, right, they changed to the metric system, so we learned both.
Yeah, we kind of learned the metric, and then they tried to shove it down our throat. And so now what they did is they did this thing where on these bottles, they'll say so many ounces, and they'll have it, and the metric rate, say the metric rate will be even, but then it'll be like 29.3 ounces or some stupid shit, So they have both, but it's more geared towards we weren't totally swallowing it. We didn't want to change it easy, right? So they manipulated around us. But we still go to the gas station and get gallons. So they didn't totally win, and we didn't totally win, but we stalled it a little bit. So that's the power of people going, nah, we're not having it.
Metric system is better. It
adds up. We're different.
It adds up better.
I figured we're different here. We started our own place. We didn't need to be integrated with the entire world. So be it. Let us be different. We create a lot of things here for being different. So why do we got to go with what Europe did? Europe is behind the times. They always have been.
It's a shame. It's a shame that America sold out to China.
Yeah, greed.
Exactly.
Corporations. Oh, we're making more money for our shareholders. And they don't care about the business going on for longer, and even the management is so stupid that they can't see the writing on the wall. Lives in their own job, and they always would blame the workers here. But you know what? How many times do the workers manage a factory or the company? Probably like never. Okay, so they always want to blame the people that are working for them. Give me a break. I never managed a company yet. How do you know I would ruin it? How can I, as the one that's being given the orders, mess up things for the guy given the orders? That doesn't even make sense. He's not managing right. If I'm not doing things right, he's not managing appropriately. So anyway, they got cheap, and they go cheaper, and all this. And that's where we're at. But we can't turn this ship to a better course. And I still say it starts in our yard. A lot of it.
Yeah.
Our yard and our neighborhood. And it's up to Americans and everybody else to start saying, hey, we value where we live.
The only problem is, we've had respected, intelligent people, hundreds, thousands of them, and they've all been ignored.
You
know?
mean,
Well, people have said, they've been saying this climate change is, that infrared radiation heat creates vibration in carbon dioxide molecule, which in turn creates heat. Well, they've known about that for 200 years.
okay.
People have been warning against it for 200 years, that all our fossil fuel burning is going to lead us to where we are now, and nobody listened to them. Absolutely nobody. This is the problem.
And then people get up there and tell people what they want to hear. That it's not really a problem. That's what George Bush did. That it's not really.
Yeah.
So it's because people in general are lazy. We want to hear. Oh, that's not really a thing. Then we could just ignore the whole thing.
Well, the proof is, right, that people are completely out of whack. Is what about all these fruitcakes that believe the Earth's flat?
Yeah.
Right, wow.
Get people believe in anything, especially now. It's so easy, I think, to manipulate attention. But also, let's just say all these things. Here's my thing about, I don't try to argue global warming or not, or climate change or not. I just say, hey, what if we have cleaner burning everything and we burn a lot less, and say the asthmatics aren't hurting as bad. We don't have as many fuel stations, so not as many people are catching leukemia from the fumes of the fuel. And so even if that thing about climate change is wrong, we do a lot of good in the meantime, we still have a better place. So let's just go on the basis that there is such a thing and it's correct. And do the good things that are associated. And let's see where we end up. So instead of arguing that, okay.
It's only basic. It's only very, very basic physics, right? Climate change. And it's something they've known about for like 200 years.
Right. I believe it. But for me as a layman, trying to argue with a layman that doesn't want to believe it anyway, I just shift it a little bit. Instead of arguing, he's going to bring up some shit that's crazy, but then in the end, it's going to all be about it costs him more money to do this or that he doesn't want to pay. So I just shift off to a different way of approaching.
Well, that's where the headache is because things are produced for money. Things are produced for profit rather than need. So until that human society can evolve past the use of money, we're basically screwed.
Well, we're kind of past it right now with everything shut down. You're going to have people trading more than just buying when you don't have money. What are you going to buy with?
That's right. This is the great hope about what's happening now, is that we will have a total rethink about what we're doing.
So
just the monetary aspect of it. Like, hey, look, okay, everybody doesn't have any money or they got no jobs, but did the resources change? All the resources are still sitting there, aren't they? The resources didn't change one iota.
That's right. And we can shift. Say, like they say, people are moving in with their relatives. Okay, so our mindset can change everything, in other words. Because when we decide we're all hurting, let's live together and support each other, then suddenly there's a big shift just because our brain changed. My relatives, when they came here, they all lived closer together. But then it was a thing, and probably something kind of programmed by the upper elites that they wanted us separate so we could all buy stuff. Get more money, more of our earnings up, and be more of have something through our nose,
divide and conquer.
We may get back a little bit closer to how we were 100 years ago, my relatives were, or whenever our relatives came, and we had to get together. You had to work closer together. Some people here, like from India or wherever, do that still, but it wasn't
Exactly.
in my family and etc. It wasn't accepted
Yep.
to work together. Okay, so when we change our brain a little bit and we more accepting that we can work together, big shift right there. So I think that's going to happen to a lot of people that it hadn't happened to before.
Yeah, the Vietnamese come to Australia and, put everyone else to shame.
Yeah, well, everybody does that here too. Honestly, all the new culture people here from wherever do that. People from India, I mean, they'll work. They have 5, 6 families in a house, what I hear, and then pretty soon, in so many, maybe 10, 15 years, they all own their own house.
Exactly.
Save their money, they work together, and then they branch off from there. Which, you know what? I used to be in the camp of like them damn people, but then I've learned to realize, look, my relatives did that. Everybody's relatives did that when they first got here, and actually, they're wiser. I've realized that there's value in what they've been doing. But I was in that other camp because that's what I was taught. That mindset of, you gotta do it on your own. You gotta the American way, individual. No, that's a whole bunch of crap. Nobody made it strictly on their own. Well, very few. Some did, but I mean, it's it. But yeah, the people that come here that haven't been indoctrinated into the system yet, they do what they know. They work together. They build it up. They do good.
Yep.
So we're.
Man, I'm definitely going to drop off now, mate. I'm going to go lay down and have a little afternoon nap.
Okay, have a good one. We'll talk to you next time, Nathan. Thanks for coming.
No worries, Ron.
Thanks
okay,
for being
mate.
on the family.
Okay, bud. Ciao.
Hold on. And yeah, and we do use it to Jazz. We do use metric to some degree now. But I just think, hey, if we have a different way, what's wrong with us having a little bit different way? We're used to it. We're brought up on it, etc. And it teaches everybody's got a different outlook. But I think the differences bring a lot of possibilities too, because of the differences. Just like us being a melting pot here, and different cultures come and contact, and different ideas kind of turn into new ideas, and a lot of it comes out of that melting pot aspect. So maybe even the thing of we have different currencies and we have different measuring methods, and that maybe that brings something new to the table too. I don't think anything too strict is good. At the extreme edges is not the best. It tends to be so. The extreme to the very extreme. Anyway, it looks like I've been on here over 3 hours. I only get like 20 hours a month I can go on StreamYard, so without having to pay. So until November 12th, I only got about another 17 hours I can use. I think I can wedge through it somehow and survive without having to pay. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming by. Thanks for commenting, giving a thumb, whatever. I'm sorry if whatever I've missed on the comments because I got chatting. And I will replay this and look through and see what I missed and try to catch up with whatever. And as I say, thanks everybody who came by and supported. Support me in the ways you can. If you know somebody that might like this channel, share it, please. I'm trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. And I'd like to be at 1,000 by this time next year. 1,000 or over. So thanks everybody for coming by. Catch everybody on the next one.